T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Damn.
Call for the unity and the redemption of the African world.
Salute the honorable Marcus
We
Garvey.
were not ready to listen then.
They might not have been ready then.
There's wonder whether we are ready
Ain't no doubt about it.
to listen
We ready, baby.
now.
Let's go. Yeah.
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky, with the side to side. It's the
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
RPGs on the rise, all eyes are recognized.
Flag fly high,
Hold it high, let it fly. Rebel colors forever, Garvey will never die. On my 90, the throne ready, let's take a ride. Cash for fix, men don't choose a side. This is the path for the warriors. Selling travel, yet still vainglorious. Black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us.
flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky, with the side to side. It's the
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
RPGs on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
Flag fly high,
The red is for the blood. I got the best stock. The rest got stood. The black is for the guys melanated and elevated, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle. Africa, everything first, the earth's navel. His Excellency put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG.
flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky, with the side to side. It's the
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
RPGs on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
Flag fly high,
This blind minds is 99. People on them know the time. How to drab on my design. We roll ready. Hard line. Ain't no game for that red flame. Trip stage of that black bang. Revolution in my veins. Till we free, I won't change. And you can count on that like an abacus. Celebrate the victories and the challenges. It's deeper than social media statuses. This lifestyle, elevation, building practices. Yeah.
flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky, with the side to side. It's the
Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
RPGs on the rise, all eyes can recognize.
Flag fly high,
I see that red, black, green. RBG, I'm about that red. refugees worldwide. Doing this thing, garbage style. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Flag fly high, my flag fly high. Come on.
Hotep family, this is your RBG brother, God Hollywood Jr., coming to you with another exclusive program. And of course, I want to tell you that today's topic is Joe Biden welcomes Ukrainian refugees into the United States. Unbelievable. But I guess this is what people voted for. Salute, Keith Whiston. How you doing, brother? How you doing, King? So this is what people voted for. But before I go on my target, there's some things I want to get off my chest. You know me, I got to get into my little rant. Because I don't like, one thing about me, I don't like hypocrisy. I don't like hypocrites. I don't like people that claim they bang the enemy and they all this a big bad on YouTube. But then their actions shows another. I never liked that. All my life, I never liked that. I never could understand that logic. Never could understand that. But I want to get some things off my chest. And if I got to feel like if I got to expose some folks, then so be it. First of all, you got certain black folks that claim they love Malcolm X. They love Malcolm. Even people that's supposed to be, or maybe a formal or ex-FOI, or people that used to be in the Nation of Islam, or a veteran FOI, or a veteran NOI, whatever they want to call themselves. You got people. Keith Winston said more immigrants is moving in and getting inside support, wealth, and yeah, black neighbor. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about all that, Keith. I'm gonna talk about all that because I'm just fed up with this shit. But I'm gonna talk about all that. You on point, brother. Definitely you on point, King. But you got people that claim they love Malcolm X. Claim they either they used to be in the Nation of Islam or they in the Nation of Islam. First of all, Nation of Islam is done. That's number one. There is no nation. Is really no Nation of Islam. But then you got those that wear the Malcolm X t-shirts. Then you got those that wear the Malcolm X pin on their chest. They claim that they're still hurt of what happened to Malcolm. But when they come down to see their Muslim brothers threaten another black man, they don't say nothing. They keep silent. Or they have this, or they justify it, or they encourage it. But they have the audacity to wear the Malcolm X t-shirts or wear the pin on their chest. Looking stupid, by the way. Bunch of goddamn hypocrites. But when you see another, you see a Muslim brother, your Muslim brothers threaten another black man's life, and you know what happened to Malcolm when the nation have done to him, black people killing Malcolm. But when it comes down, it's like, okay, look at what that guy Rizza Islam, how he threatened young Pharaoh on air. Oh, you better watch him out, because young Pharaoh said something against Farrakhan, which he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying on Farrakhan. But Rizza Islam had a problem with it. Oh, you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth. Where was the nation of it? Where was the people that loved Malcolm X who came out of the Nation of Islam, who came out, the veteran of the FOI? Where were they? How come they didn't speak on it? How come they didn't discuss it? How come they didn't talk about it? How come they didn't say, Rizza Islam, you was wrong for threatening that man? Nope. They full of crap. All of them. The hypocrisy is real when they're dealing with these so-called revolutionary Negroes. I won't even, you know what? I'm not going to even call them revolutionary. I call them nevolutionaries, because if you look at their history, they never done a damn thing. They never done a damn thing. Oh, man, you about to start work? You got the night shift. Okay, you got to make that. I just got a new gig coming up Monday, man. Got a good gig coming up Monday, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Definitely. Your weekend, yeah. Make them weekends work, brother. Because them weekends go fast. Oh, yeah, you know I'm gonna tell the truth. You know, I'm gonna get in some ass, man. I just been doing some studying, some thinking. You know me. But yeah, you got these hypocrites, Keith. You got these hypocrite Negroes out here, these nevolutionaries that haven't done nothing. And if you studied their life, they haven't done. They all talk on YouTube. They all talk on YouTube, but their actions don't show. But like I said, when they see, look, I was threatened by a wannabe NOI, a wannabe FOI Negro. But when it came out of George Zetterman, I wish I had that video, because I know my brother Craig had it, but he probably put it on private. But I was going to play that shit, and I was going to let people to hear how this fake member of the NOI is and threatened me, talking about, he'll come see me. Oh, he don't mind coming see me. When it came out of George Zetterman, he didn't want to fight George Zetterman. But I don't even know why because if matter of fact, I'm the most dangerous person that you wouldn't even want to mess with. I tell any black person that your best bet is to pick on George Zetterman. Your best bet to pick on George Zetterman. I'm the worst motherfucker to fuck with. Shout out, hold up, brother Bakari. Hold up, brother. You're right. You're right, King. Pete, yeah, you're right. Like I said, shout out to my brother Keith and brother Bakari. Keith Weston. Brother Bakari, shout out to you, brothers. So the hypocrisy is real. The hypocrisy is real. It was another hypocrisy I want to talk about. And I'm not going to mention this chick's name. But I realized I thought she was okay. But now that I realize that she's full of shit, shout out to Sister Noble. But I realized this chick is fake, man. This chick I'm about to mention, I'm not gonna mention her name, but I'm gonna call her old girl. I'm gonna call this chick old girl. And Sister Noble opened my eyes. I want to give a shout out to her. But I did a video called Black Senator. And I proved and I showed how this guy, this clown, this coward was associated with himself with the KKK. I showed pictures. I still got the video. If anybody haven't seen it, check out the video called Black Senator. And you see pictures of him associating with the KKK. Now, he usually, Black Son will be on old girl's channel. I'm not going to mention her names because I realize she ain't shit. I had respect for her in the beginning, but when she did this, I didn't have no respect for her after that. When she did this, I stopped having respect for old girl. And her and Black Son is no longer cool, which I already knew that was going to happen. And now Black Son, he's trying to get acquainted. He's trying to run back to Sister Noble. But she's not feeling that. She blocked him. She ain't trying to go back to that piece, that dusty ass dude. But he got some nerve because now him and old girl ain't cool no more, and he gonna run back to Sister Noble. No. Now, what I don't like about old girl, what she did was foul because all of a sudden, because now that her and Black Son are no longer cool, she start to bring up the fact that he was involved with the KKK and not give me no credit about it. She didn't give me no credit. She didn't say, well, you know what? I should have dumped this dude when God Nollywood had brought this up, but I didn't do that. And now she start bringing up the fact that he was with the KKK or he was associated. Well, you know, while we was fighting the KKK, no, you was not, bitch. But you know, we was fighting the KKK. You know, Black Son was out here associated with. I said, wait a minute, I put that out there. And even when Sister Noble came on the panel, she even asked, yo, what's up with you? She asked that dusty dude, yo, what's up with you and what's up with you associated with the KKK? And he didn't address it. And old girl was on the panel, by the way. And she didn't say nothing. And you know what that tells me? And I want to give a shout out to Sister Noble again because she opened my eyes. She said, when you brought it up, she didn't say nothing. She kept her mouth shut. So now, how I look at it is this. I said, you know, and I did some thinking with Sister Noble. I said, damn, she's right about this shit. I'm like, damn. When I brought it up, she didn't say nothing. If anything, she attacked me. She got at me. She did a video dissing me. I was like, damn, that's true. Why is she saying this now when I was the one who brought it up? So that, you know what it tells me? That tells me that if she sees somebody that she likes or her friend either molested a child or sexual assaulted a woman or do anything that violate that's a violation, she won't say nothing because that's her friend. She didn't see a child get raped. And she won't, because that's because her friend is doing it, she won't say nothing. I don't like people like that. Because she was Black Son's friend, she did not open her mouth. So she's full of shit. And now she's on this snitching campaign. Fuck her. Matter of fact, I'll let y'all hear it yourself. This is what this clown bitch said. You know, that shit really pissed me off. And you don't give me no credit. You don't say, hey, you know what? If it wasn't for God Nollywood, I should have cut this dude off when God Nollywood brought that up. Oh no, you didn't say nothing. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it for yourself, and that's what got me. I was like, wait a minute, I was brought this up, and you took up for this dude. I'll let y'all hear it to yourself. This is what this chick says. This is what old girl says.
Clean this motherfucker up. One thing about night, I'm bringing news. Clean this motherfucker up. I'm finna give y'all some damaging. I'm finna put some shit on this. I'm finna show y'all something. Show y'all why we stop fucking supporting the arena uncensored. It started out with Black Power and religion and all kind of stuff. Yes, it did. So we to motherfuckers start seeing him and seeing certain shit he was doing. Hold on a second, y'all. Show my peoples.
So she's showing the video with Black Son with the KKK.
This is why we stopped fucking with him on that show.
This is our show how full of shit she is.
Kind of black politicians and shit. So let's see who's on this show. Let's see. And somebody dropped the copyright. Fair usage for educational and commentary purposes only.
Now, remind you, I was the one that brought that up. I was the one that brought that up. Him being on him association and being cool with the Ku Klux Klan. I was the one that did that, and she said nothing. She done nothing, but now they're no longer friends. Now she's on a snitching campaign because that's what it is. She's snitching.
Got an excellent show here today. We got the Pastor Tennessee Flood and his for Shizzle. What's going on, fellas? All right. Say something, Charles. What's going on, bro?
Now you hear Black Son talking to the KKK. This is what she's playing. I already showed. I didn't play the video, but I showed the pictures. She knew about all this already.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. All right. Today we had the Ku Klux Klan
So he said, this is Black Son saying, yo, this is the Ku Klux Klan, Ku Klux Klan in Stone Mountain. That's what he says. This is what she's playing. This is what I told you. I tried to tell you, Black Son was a piece of shit. But she still was fooling with this dude for 10 years.
March up the mountain. What's going on here?
I don't know. I guess these groups are getting pretty desperate for membership, especially with what's going on with the political climate in the world. And it seems like they're reaching out to very, very, very poor demographics that are not very organized. And if you saw today's event, I think the most organized thing about today, other than us, was the state of Georgia's ability to airlift 25 people on the taxpayers' money out of the area that they were paid to protect.
No, hold on.
That's kind of what's got me stumped right now is
let me say something about this fuck shit.
Water bottles and
now remember,
transportation on the taxpayers.
I'm gonna go back. Now hold up, I gotta stop. Wait a minute, let me go back over here. Hold on, wait a minute, child. I gotta get back to my own thing. Now, wait a minute, let me go back. Let me stop this. Remember, thank you, Barbara, so I could put that up right quick. Remember when I told y'all we was in Stone Mountain fighting with the Ku Klux Klan?
So she said she was in Stone Mountain fighting with the Ku Klux Klan. She was busting shots, according to her. Well, she was not. Lying ass, Flavor Flav looking bitch. How you gonna sit there and lie like that? Still rocking a gold tooth in your mouth, still like you are a hip hop chick from the 80s. Stop it.
I showed the videos. Anybody who remember my videos on that shit, press a 1. Press a 1. While we was fighting the Ku Klux Klan, this is what he was doing. Press a 1 if y'all remember that. If not, I'll go back because I'm going to go back through some of them videos anyway when I exposed Malik Zulu Shabazz. Press a 1 if y'all remember me showing them videos where we out that motherfucker going through hell fighting with the KKK. This what this motherfucker would do.
So, I'm just going to stop that. And I want to tell old girl why you didn't address that when I did the video. And I want to let old girl know why you didn't address that months before. That was months. When I did the video, Black Senator, why you didn't say nothing then? You know what you did? You cowardly piece of garbage. You took up for that piece. You took up for that dusty piece of shit. That's what you did. You should have. Why you didn't cut him off then? Why you bring it up now? Because he turned on you like a rabid dog like he is. And now you on a snitching campaign. When Sister Noble was on your show, she brought it up to Black Son. Why you didn't say nothing then? And now you on a snitching campaign. You a goddamn snitch. You a type of piece of shit that if you saw your friend molesting children, you won't open your mouth. You saw your friend raping women, you won't open your mouth. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm gonna show you something else. I'm gonna play you something. I'm gonna just play the audio. I'm playing the audio. Just something else she said too. What got me? All of a sudden you beg this same old girl talking all big and bad on YouTube. When it comes down to black people, just like the ones that wear the Malcolm X. Hotel Sister Lightbearer, how you doing, Queen? Just like those that wear the Malcolm X t-shirts and the pin on their chest. How they claim they love Malcolm. How they love black people, but when they see their Muslim brothers threaten another black man, they won't say nothing, or they encourage it, or they try to justify it. This is what they do. She's another one. Mr. Black Panther Party chick. Who have, for mind you, she don't represent the RBG. She's a power to all people. Power to all people. Not power to just black people, but power to all people, because that's what they said. That was their slogan. I'm not for power to all people. I want absolute power all to myself while everybody else bow down. That's what I want to see. So while she's doing all this big and bad talk, but when it came down to the police, she's talking about, well, I'm afraid of my life. You're scaring me. Wait a minute. I thought you was the big, bad chick from the block. Because when it comes down to your people, you act hard. You act tough. You ready to see somebody. But when it came down to those white cops coming at your doorstep, you acting like a little coward that you are. Let me play this real quick. I'm sick of this.
Take us to court or whatever. They ain't supposed to come up here and put people out. I got 5 videos where they've been opening people's doors with keys. I don't have to give you that until I speak to a supervisor because I'm threatened. I feel threatened by you. I don't even have to communicate with you as an officer. I have that right. And I'm getting an attorney at prison. You don't have the right to step in here because by reading this thing, this was a civil matter. You just violated your oath and a lot of my amendments. And also my Constitution. I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm saying it on camera. I'm afraid of you. I just seen you beat people and you're a male officer. I don't have to communicate with you. Those are my rights. I'm afraid of you.
I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid of you. Wait a minute. The big, bad, tough old girl. But I'm afraid of you when it comes down to the white man. I'm afraid of you. Don't you got guns too? Don't you Black Panther Party Negroes got guns too? I will never say no shit like that. Oh, I'm afraid of you. Fuck that. Either you take me to jail, or if I committed a crime, take me to jail, or we shooting. That's it. You ain't coming to my house. You ain't doing none of that. Without a warrant, you better have a warrant with you, or I'm busting shots. That's it. You ain't gonna hear me. Oh, call 411. And this is what she kept saying. Big, bad, tough chick. This is what I'm saying. All this hypocrisy. All this hypocrisy. All this hypocrisy. Black people talk all this big, bad, all these nevolutionary Negroes on YouTube talk about how big and bad they are. But when they face the enemy, they don't do nothing. And you hear this stupid ass chick talking about, oh, I'm afraid of you. When you wait a minute, you part of the Black Panther Party. You supposed to have guns. What happened? Fuck that law shit.
I'm afraid of you, sir. I'm afraid of you, sir. You just violated my...
I'm afraid of you, sir. I'm afraid. That's what she said. I didn't make it. This is what she said out of her mouth.
My Constitution. I'm afraid of you, sir. I want to wait on the supervisor. She can do all that, but she can verify the fact that I researched. Please find that number. Hurry up. He know this is a violation of the Privacy Act. She's not supposed to give them the key to open his door. They were supposed to get a warrant and come in and search or whatever they were supposed to do. They didn't get a warrant. But you weren't supposed to open my door. I could have been naked. I could have been playing with myself or anything. You were not supposed to turn the key and open my door, and you know.
See? I'm gonna leave that alone. This is where I get aggravated. You should have been busting shots. You should have been busting shots. If they was coming in, that's an invasion. I don't care if they have badges. You should have been busting shots. They should have knocked on the door. They should have said, we have a warrant to search your house or whatever. They're supposed to come with a warrant. That's across the nation. But they did that because they wanted smoke. But you talking about you afraid of them? But when you get on YouTube, you don't talk like that. Your talk doesn't meet your actions. And then after she has stopped the tape and then she talked and all this, I'm not even playing that stupid ass shit. I'm tired of it. Because, and I'm talking about this because this goes into my topic. This goes into my topic. I'm tired of this nevolutionary YouTube nonsense, this hypocrisy. But they get mad at Pan-Africanism because we mean what we say and we say what we mean. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm not trying to be no hypocrite either. I want the smoke. So I was raised like a G in the 90s. But we don't have no respect for nobody. Not even the police. So if the police get out of hand, it's either one or two things. Either you're gonna send me to jail. If I committed a crime, send me to jail, or we gonna duke it out. There's no, I'm afraid of my life. Fuck that. But she says she's gangster. Miss Olga says she's gangster. That don't sound like you gangster. You telling the white man that you're afraid of your life. You should went all out. You're part of an organization. You power to all people. I'm just saying. The hypocrisy is real with these revolutionary Negroes. It's real. So I'm gonna get to my topic. You have Joe Biden. See, we're not even getting the respect. You got 85% of black people voted for this dumb old Neanderthal in office. Because what? Because you didn't like Trump? That's not how you're supposed to vote. You're supposed to vote for your interests. So let me screen share this. I don't know how long. Anybody want to come in? Let me know if anybody want to come in. But I'm going to screen share this. Oh, shit. I don't want this. My bad. Let me share this real quick. Biden, U.S. to welcome Ukrainian refugees with open arms. Wow. This is what the 85% of black people voted for. This is what the 85% of black people voted for. So they're going to come in. They're going to come in. And they're going to put these racist Ukrainians in your neighborhood. They're going to fund them enough money where they're going to end up owning deli stores and supermarkets. And why they get rich off of you. Why they get rich off of you. They building their people up. So let's listen to what Joe Biden says. Hold on, here we go.
And last night, to their great credit, the Congress passed a bipartisan spending bill that included an additional $13.6 billion in new assistance to the Ukrainian people. I look forward to signing that immediately. I also want to be clear, though. We will make sure Ukraine has weapons to defend against an invading Russian force. We will send money and food and aid to save the Ukrainian people. And I will welcome Ukrainian refugees. We should welcome them here with open arms if they need access. And we're going to provide more support for Ukraine.
You hear that? You hear that? They're gonna provide all this. They're gonna give this guy, all these people, all this money. And these are the same people that claim they don't have reparations for y'all. You see? You see how when these black people ask Biden about reparations, you see how he turned the other head, but he got all this money for Ukrainians who's not even in this country. But he's sending all this money to these people. Money that you're paying for. Those high gas prices that was caused by him. Black people, you're paying for that. But then again, those 85% of black people that voted by Biden, you voted for this. This is what you wanted. And this is what you got. This is what you got. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. Black people, you can't get mad. Those that voted for Biden, you can't get mad. Biden signs massive spending bill into law that dedicates billions to Ukraine aid. Wow. You can't get mad. It's a shame. And this is right in your face. This is right in your face. So these nevolutionaries, they sitting there with all this big talk. All this big talk. They got all this smoke for other black people. But you got white people are doing this behind your back. Matter of fact, not even, I'm sorry, not behind your back. They doing this in front of you. Biden said, I don't got no reparations for y'all Negroes, but they got money for Ukraine. They got money for the Palestinians. But Ukraine, they are white people. These are white people are taking care of white people. So you ADOS, you FBAs, you want to attack other black people because background differences. You're dumb. You're dumb. You rather self-destruct. You rather self-destruct than unite. You rather self-destruct than unite. That's what you rather do. These are white people helping the white people. Ukrainians are white people. There's no such thing as no African Ukrainians. These are white people that's fighting for power. See, when we talk about power, we want a country. We want to join a country where we can say, hey, where we could build our own military, real military. You're supposed to be so smart, but you got people like that in your face, got all this money, got all this aid, but everything. Then you want to know why this inflation is up. Then you want to know why you can't afford meats. You can't afford bread. Because Biden, he's printing all this money for people that looks like him. What happened to the Haitians? What happened to our African people in Haiti? What did he do? No, he sent them back home. Biden ain't trying to help no black person. Because you know why? He's afraid of the unity of African people. This is what he's afraid of. He do not want black people uniting with black people, and you stupid FBAs, you stupid ADOS, you falling right into the white man's hands. I have no respect for y'all. I have no respect for you nevolutionaries that co-sign other black people, threatening other black people. I have no respect for y'all, dry snitching now because now your man don't want to, now your boy or your girl don't want to mess with you no more. Now you dry snitching. And even when somebody like me try to say, hey, don't trust that person, you're going to turn on me. And now you dry snitching now. I have no respect for y'all. I have no respect for those people. Y'all got to eat this. You black people that voted for this monster, y'all got to eat this. Y'all got to eat this. See, when I talk about real life stuff, I don't get the subscribers like I should be getting. I'm not getting that type of subscribers. But you want to join, black people want to join with other black people because if there's no beef going on with black people, dissing black people, and I'm not saying it's all black people doing it. I think it's white people that subscribing to these channels. Just like how they buy the hip hop music. When every time when black people use the N-word in their music, white people will buy those albums. You notice that? White people will buy those albums. They will buy those albums. But anything conscious, they're not going to buy them. They like to see black people separated. So they will subscribe to those degenerate channels in big numbers, in huge numbers. The Sonettas, all these channels. They like the beef. They want to keep the beef going. So they will come and subscribe to these channels. So you think there's black people subscribing to these? No, those are white people subscribing to those channels. Those are white folks because they want to be entertained. They want to be entertained. They want to be entertained. Nobody also want to show, but I want to say, black people, you're paying for this. You paying for that Ukrainian aid. You're paying those high gas prices, the meats, the food, electricity, whatever you paying. All this inflation is because Biden is spending all this money, and I don't see nobody saying anything about it. I don't see nobody saying nothing about it. And it's so sad. You got black people are feeling so sorry about poor Ukraine, But what about the Haitians? What about the Haitians that was trying to come over as refugees? Biden turned them away, shitted on them. Didn't have no plan, no aid for them. And you never saw him passing a bill say, I'm gonna have some aid for Joe Biden. Tanzan, what's going on, sister? How you doing, Queen? I'm glad you came through, sister. But Biden didn't have no aid for the Haitians when they was dealing with the earthquakes, the famine, the mistreatment of they didn't have, the government was this. Their president just got assassinated. Where was the aid? Where was the help? I get it. Those not his people. Those not his people. And we gotta expect that. We gotta expect that. We gotta expect our enemy is not gonna help us up like that. But you got black people that put so much faith into this enemy, this people that they call the enemy. They put too much faith in that. But they get on YouTube and they do the snitching campaign. They talk about all these pipe dreams. They talk about how they want to, they bash each other just to get subscribers. And the subscribers that they're getting is not from black people, it's from white people because they love the entertainment. They love it. They want black people to kill each other. They want black people to self-destruct, to make room for them. And you black people, how, like Brother Bakari, shout out to Brother Bakari, where he said, you got black people fall for the big bluff. Let me I'm gonna share screen something else. Because this is something that Joe Biden didn't even mention. This is something that Joe Biden didn't even mention. This is something that Joe Biden didn't even mention. Congress passed the Emmett Till finally making lynching a federal crime. Why did Joe Biden did not even mention this? This wasn't even on the news. Now, my question I wanted to ask is this: is this only to protect us as African people, or this is supposed to protect everybody? I don't want this bill to protect everybody. I want this bill to only protect us as African people in the United States. Hotel Arik 55, how you doing, sister? Good to see my sisters in the house, Light Bearer, Tanzan, Arik 55. Good to see y'all, sisters, man. Really good to see y'all. But they don't talk about this. They don't talk about that. There was no mention of this anywhere in the news. They still haven't talked about it. And this article came out on March 8th. We are March 18th now. They still haven't talked about it yet. You would think this would be big news. But for some reason, the woman who lied on Emmett Till, she still has, I believe she's still alive. They still haven't arrested her and charged her for murder. Because technically she was in on it. So let's see what it says. Hold on, let me see what this says. So I don't know. It said the bill allows the federal government to prosecute a crime as lynching when a conspiracy is committed. A hate crime results to death or serious bodily injury. Maximum sentence under injury is 30 years. So it sounds like to me that this bill is for everybody. It is not necessarily protecting us per se. This is what I'm saying, Black people. We got to stop making laws for everybody instead of if we're going to pass these laws, it has to be specifically for us as African people. And it really doesn't say anywhere this law is protecting us per se. It really doesn't say. It sounds like a law that's protecting everybody. But see, for some parents, Emmett Till was kidnapped, tortured, and killed after witness heard him whistle at a white woman. Now, first of all, that was just allegations. That's allegations. We don't know that boy whistled at a white. Why would he whistle at a white woman? Why would he whistle at a white woman? Knowing how the South get down. Doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, it's bad. It's after nearly 200 attempts, lynching is now a federal hate crime in the U.S. But no one talks about it. No one talks about it. I'll put the link in if anybody want to come on and chat. I just had to give my take on this, on the issues that I have. But I'm just tired of the disrespect. But I can't, like I said, I can't blame white people because we sure already know their nature. I blame the nevolutionaries. All these nevolutionary, all this big talk, and they big and bad, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. All this dry snitching coming from these nevolutionary Negroes. Biden is in your face. And now y'all paying for it. Black people are now paying for it. You want to know why things are high? I already knew that was going to happen. I'm just going to read your comments. Well, let me go back for a little bit. Keith Wilson said, more immigrants moving in, getting instant support and wealth in the black communities get pushed further into the background. That's true. That's true. And we allow this. Our people allow this to happen. We allow this. Oh, I'm good. Okay. We allow this. Enrique 55 said, all of us that wants to leave here needs together and pull up out of here. I'm tired of this. Golfer said, me too. I'm tired too. And that's one thing that's one thing that's so hard. I mean, we could, if black people have a common interest and a common goal, and we start thinking selfish, I said we got to be a selfish race of people. If we start putting our money circulating among ourselves, we could do far better. Our neighborhoods would become more like communities. We could producing. We can connect with Africa and start bringing their cars and their products over here. You got Koreans, they do it. To China, the Asians, they do it all the time. They bring their stuff from their motherland, they bring it over here and make money. They make money. But some of our people, they so into this anti-Africa, this nonsense. And I want to know, my computer is running slow, but I'll be, okay, no problem, King. But I want to know, look, I like to travel. That's why I tell black people to travel. And when you travel, make connections. And I'm talking about with your own people. I'm not talking about with any of your body. Because when I'm talking about traveling, yeah, go to Ghana, go to these places and make connections. Because you don't know, even they might not know, even that person might not have some, but they know somebody that have. Expand yourself. Expand yourself. I know a lot of people can't do it. And I'm not expecting a lot of people can't do it. I expect that. I don't have it like that. That's the reason why I'm online now talking to my brothers from the motherland. Talking to my sisters from the motherland. And see how we can do business. You're making a contribution by helping your people out, promoting their businesses, especially if they do a good service. You're promoting them. That is African. That is African. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, they're just American. No, they're African people. If you're supporting your own, even in America, That is Africa. That's the African way of doing things. You are contributing. You are giving your contribution to Africa because that's your people. Don't let nobody discourage you or make you feel bad or try to brainwash you. That's silly. Because these people, if you notice, the ADOS don't have nothing. They don't have a pot to piss in. The so-called FBAs, the Foundation of Black America, they don't have nothing. They don't have a pot to piss in. Don't get fooled by Tariq Nasheed, because when black people stop supporting him, he'll be right back on the street bumming. You best believe that, or he'll be searching for a 9-to-5 job. You best believe that. But see, it just shows you the evilness that even Joe Biden himself wouldn't even want to recognize. We had a whole February of so-called Black History Month, and he did not mention about the Emmett Till bill. Not once. Not once. He did not mention the Emmett Till bill, not once. Not once. But black people fought for that. Not Joe Biden. Black African people. I'm not going to use the word black. I'm going to piss these FBAs and ADOS off. I'm going to say African people in America vote. African people in the United States voted for that and got it done. But the question is it protecting us or is it protecting everybody? And that's the question I wanted to ask, because I'm tired of passing these bills that benefit for everybody. The affirmative action, it should have been only for African people in the United States. We fought for that. We shed our blood. Our ancestors fought for that. They shed their blood, and we should honor it. Say, no, this is for us. It should not be for white women. Let white women have the fight for their shit. It should not be for yellow people. Let yellow people fight for their own stuff. But we got so, because some of us want to feel so accepted. They want to feel so, they want to belong. Oh, I'm Native Indian. These Native Indians don't give a damn about you. They'll spit in your face. Show me your native status card, because you got to get it from the white man. Oh, I don't need no state. I don't need no status card to show that I'm a born American. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Show me your native status card. Because these Indians, these so-called Indians, call it what you want, but that's what they want you to prove. You got to show some DNA records. You got to show some pictures, some documentation. You got to show them that you from their tribe. Well, my grandma, your grandma was a self-hate piece of shit. Your granddad was a self-hating piece of shit because he hate being African. So he said, well, I'm a Native Indian. We got to be honest. We got to speak reality. We speak in reality now. Oh, you forgot about Jim Crow. You forgot about that with the paper bag tests and all. You forgot about that. Our people was traumatized and never got over it, never got any treatment. Our people was traumatized and never got no treatment. You imagine seeing your son being hanged from the tree? Being hanged from the tree? And some white man tell you, you better not say nothing, or we're going to come back and kill you? That's crazy. And you got to hold that in for the rest of your life? And we'll talk about slavery. We'll talk about Jim Crow. Hold tight, brother. Hold tight, brother Bakar. We'll talk about Jim Crow. We'll talk about these things. But then we bang on each other. We'll bang on each other like no tomorrow. All this hatred. Like I said, I was threatened. Then when I brought up George Zetterman, well, I'm not thinking about George. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I said, wow. I said, wow. So you rather cross two bridges, because you're in Philadelphia, and you rather cross two bridges to come after me? And George Zetterman but George Zetterman is off the hook? Just like those, well, I love Malcolm. But you see your Muslim brother threaten another black man, you don't step in, you don't say nothing. You don't even make a video about it. Say how wrong that person was. Knowing that what Malcolm went through, how the Nation of Islam killed him. With the help with the FBA and not the FBI, the FBI and the CIA. And you co-signed that, but you claim that you love your people. You claim that you love Malcolm. I show proof of evidence of a coon, of a Ron O'Neal, Negro, black senator, side with the KKK, so-called pro-black chick. She didn't say nothing. She kept her mouth closed because that was her friend. No, fuck that. I'm not tolerating these people. I don't like these people. These people are dangerous. Joe Biden, he could sign all these bills helping other white people. There's no outrage. And black people are quiet about it. There's no Antifa. There's no militias. There's nothing. You saw all that stuff under Trump. Trump had a plan to if anything, Trump did have a plan to build black people up. But nobody they didn't want that. Black people didn't want that. They wanted nothing. They wanted nothing. And they still don't, and guess what? They still don't have nothing. And you got nothing. So the only thing you got is YouTube to run your mouth and do nothing. And only people that subscribe to you is happy white people. Let's be realistic. Those black people, those revolutionary Negroes like Sonettas and the Jason Blacks and all these clowns, Tariq Nasheeds, they got all these subscribers. The white people subscribe to these people in big numbers, huge numbers. Brother Bakar, how you doing, King?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself and tell me what's on your mind. What you think about the program so far? What you think you have heard so far?
Yeah, the program cool. I'm gonna speak on this Bakari, by the way. I mean, I ain't tried to mail it on here. My channel is Brother Bakari. But no, I just wanted to come up here for a couple of minutes and talk about Joe Biden. I think that that Emmett Till bill is nothing after all these years, an anti-lynching bill. If you need someone to write on a piece of paper that a lynch and someone trying to lynch you or lynching you is a hate crime, I think something is wrong, right? I don't need them to say that's going to be a hate crime for me. I already know it's hate. But the anti-lynching is not written on a piece of paper. The anti-lynching is when you stop them from lynching you by any means necessary. That's the anti-lynching. We shouldn't have to wait on them or someone else to be against us getting lynched. We should have to be against us getting lynched, right? So if we are against us getting lynched, I don't. In all honesty, man, look how long. Remember Emmett Till in the 40s? Look how long ago it was since Emmett Till was murdered, was beaten, was killed. Look how long ago that was for Emmett Till. Think about that. Look how long ago. What's up, Eric 55? Look how long ago that's been. And now you're gonna say, let's do an anti-lynching bill, an Emmett Till bill. Now they was talking about something about a George Floyd bill. Well, this is my thing, right? A piece of paper, something written on a piece of paper, is not going to stop anybody from doing anything to you. So Joe Biden, that his cabinet, whoever passed it, whoever passed the bill, they can say that because something on a piece of paper. If somebody got a rope and they come and throw you up, lynch you across the tree, let's see what happens if you tell them, hey, it's written on a piece of paper and you show them the bill. See right here is a hate crime. Let's see if that's gonna stop them. Or if they try to lynch me and I let those that AR-15 or the AK-47 or that 9mm loose. Let's see which one is gonna stop them from lynching. We have to get to the point where we have to take care of ourselves. We have to stop waiting on them. We have to stop waiting on them to write on something on a piece of paper and them saying they care about us, and that's why they put it on so now it's on a piece of paper. It's up to us to stop it. So as far as I'm concerned, that Emmett Till anti-lynching bill don't mean a damn thing to me. And I'm just being honest with you. They could have saved the ink they used to write with and the paper in which they wrote it on. They could have saved both of that and wrote something, did something, and did something better with it, because that was a waste. That was an absolute waste of time, as far as I'm concerned. It was a waste of time for me. Yeah, I yield the mic.
All right, definitely. I agree with you, brother King Bakari. Pelej, how you doing, brother?
All right, my brother, how are you doing?
I'm
Nollywood?
good, King.
Yeah, good. Oh man. Brother Bakari, what's up, man? um,
What's going on, Pelej?
Not much, my brother. I agree with Brother Bakari 100%. 100%. He was on point, man. So I agree with him. I can't really say anything about that. If they're gonna sign a bill like that, and I believe Emmett Till was assassinated in 1955. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I think. I mean, I know it's been. Yeah, I think it was like around that time. So, anyways, yeah, I America, like in my opinion, based on American government, based on how they behave, they don't care about Black people. Facts. For 500 years, they don't care about Black people. I mean, I'm willing to challenge anybody on this. When you have, plantation mammies and and pappies, saying like America is not a racist country, or and then when you have the VP, I'm not gonna say her name, so America is not a racist country, but they have to answer for what what about the past though. But for me, it's insane. It's insane. If they're to start, you can never rectify this. To try to make this right, and from an apology, is to come out with $50 trillion for the 40 million alleged Black people, the foundation of Black people, American, who live here. That would only be like $1 million probably for each people. You can't just give people let people spend that money. That I think they should get more. That check It should be, you have people like come up with like economics and like, oh, we need like 20 trillion. What is that gonna do? That's gonna do, that's nothing. That's chump change, man. Chump change. You know, the whole Asian hate. I mean, how many times, do we black people have to like see, like they're not gonna do anything for us. Yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna sign this, please. Oh, Juneteenth. Oh, we're gonna do Tulsa when we bomb your town because you're prospering, because we're gonna do like a day of remembrance. This crap is getting silly and goofy, man. I don't know, man. Like, we can do this. For me, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm angry, talking about same thing over and over again. And yes, I want Black Americans to get reparations. I do. I mean, it's not happening. It's not. We were trying to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I'm just saying I agree with you. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Rosewood, everything that we're trying to do is being like bombed, it's being destroyed. And the thing is that we're not thinking about, our security. We can't I know we were fighting. We weren't laying down, say, oh yeah, please beat us. Our nature is like, we don't start stuff with people, but we will fight. But the thing is though, I mean, like, there's not that many of us and stuff like that. And I believe Brother Bakari is always say, there's maybe it wasn't you, there's strength in numbers. There's strength in numbers. Like, we have to link up. I don't know. I mean, is it? Right. I mean, I'm not saying running away from from America, running away. Like, where should we just like? I know you are Pan-Africanist, Brother Bakari, but Marcus Garvey was trying to do that. I mean, they didn't want that to happen. So I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I mean, we just need to find a few of us that's willing to do something. It could be here in America, or it could be in a different country, or like in the motherland in Africa. I don't know, or Haiti, or Brazil. Somewhere. Like, I'm ashamed. Some of our people are just the worst. They're worse than the white supremacists.
That's right.
I'm serious, my brother. So I'm going to tell you something. I sent this dude I'm not going to mention his name. I sent him like some videos and pictures. I went to Haiti in October, took some pictures. Like, my family, we've got a lot of land on the coastline, which we're not even going to be able to step foot on that coastline because outsiders are coming in and, like, illegally purchasing things. Okay. Like, I mean, it's so nice, man, and Haiti, and it's just so nice. So I sent that to him. He works for Nationwide, and I said, and I was like speaking in parable, and I said, hey, I said, like, in 1833 Chicago was founded by this Haitian guy, and then like I think big, I have great vision. I said, like, is Nationwide looking to expand? Nationwide Realty is looking to expand, globally and stuff like that. All he said, I told him, like, I think big. All he told me was like, be blessed, my brother. But you know what I'm saying though? But my thing is, like, some of us like want to be enslaved, man. Some of us, like, I'm serious. Some of us want to be enslaved, and you're gonna have to let him be enslaved. And I hope and pray, my brother, that we can just like have a community, man, like of our own, like where people can feel safe, where people can, where we don't have to be discriminated, where people don't have to, what you see in the news, where you don't see people getting gunned down. It's normal. It's normal to see a black person getting gunned down. Well, he shouldn't run. Well, he shouldn't do this. Well, no, it should not be normal. Like myself or you, we should have, hold those people accountable, man. And I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm gonna pass the mic. And there's another live I'm gonna go to, stuff like that. But I just saw you, brother, in Hollywood. I said I need to like come on and say something. But I have a son who's 11 years old, and he's 6'1". He's 11, 6'1".
Oh, it's tall.
Yeah, very tall, extremely tall. So we got done at the library. I want to get him getting his stuff done, and we try not. I normally, when he's with me, I'm like 90-something% vegan, but sometimes I'll cheat. I'll eat some meat. There was like this Smith is like a German sausage truck, and I said, "Do you want something there?" So he was talking to his mom, and then we parked the car. We were going around on the line. So there were a female cop, there were a male cop there, both of them were white. And so there was like a female, somebody like a civilian who was in between us. And you could tell, and I was paying attention to them, you could tell those cops were uncomfortable. They were uncomfortable because they couldn't see me. And I saw the female on, like, how you put your gun on the holster, you close it, like you like kind of like buckle it up. You know what I mean, though? Like, right. And I saw her unbuckle it gently, and I was, yeah. Crazy. And I just saw that, and I'm thinking to myself, it's not fun for us, man. Mm-hmm. It's not fun, man. Like, it's just like, how am I, like, for me, we should be able to protect one another. It's not a fun place to live for me. Like, in my opinion, this is what I tell my son. If it wasn't for him, when I went to Haiti, I did not want to come back here. And I tell people, and I tell my family, I said, like, I feel more safe in Haiti than I am in America. And then they said, well, there's a lot of problem in Haiti. I said, like, so what? It's not the Haitians is causing the problems. It's America and France and Canada. But anyways, my brother, listen, man, like one of these days, man, I'll try to, send you little donations and stuff like that. Right now, things are a little tight, but I appreciate it, man.
Don't even worry about that, man. It's like, that's not even, trust me, I'm not even big on no donations. I just say, I always tell people, hey, if you can, because it's going to go to a good cause.
Right, right.
It's not, I'm not trying to, there's no self-gain with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I need to go to good cause because it's helping our people. But,
absolutely.
But I'm not big on that. It's all about information for me, man.
Right. No. Well, you're right. You're right, 100%. Well, for example, though, you've got, I think, like close to 500 subscribers, and Valkyrie probably has like maybe, I don't know, close to 1,000. I'm not sure exactly, though. And Forecast have like close to 4,000. But my thing is, though, if the three of y'all, you guys as subscribers, decide, you know what? If you guys say like, hey, let's do like a fundraising for a good cause, like a plan. Let's have a plan and raise some money. Let's just start with your channel first. If every subscribers give $100, just $100, but they're not, like, I mean, they don't. I mean, like, some of them don't think like that. I'm not trying to like dog people. I'm not stingy with my money, man. I'm not. But I mean, it's just like, if there's gonna be a good cause, I mean, I think when we do meet at some point, guys, we need to like raise some money, man. Like, I mean, we need to raise some money for something, for a good cause, to help people, to help Black people that's in need, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying, though, man? Like buy them some, give them some gift cards to go to groceries. You know, don't just give them their money. Say, hey, here's some gift card. Go buy yourself some groceries. If we meet, like Brother Bakari, I know we discuss about meeting, though, man. Let's like raise some money, man. Like I'll throw down. I don't have very much money. I'll throw $100 down, man. You know, let's do something like that.
That's right.
So listen, brother, man. Like I appreciate you letting me on your show. And you know, Brother Bakari, man, is good. It's good to hear from you, man. And you guys take care, okay?
All right. I mean, you could stay if you want. I mean, if you got to go, I understand, but you can stay if you want.
I could come back later. I'm gonna drink some tea. But there's another brother who has it live. I'm gonna try to catch on. And
okay,
like I said, though, man, I'm just frustrated, man. Like I love my people, man. I just feel like we smart, we can do it. We just have to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But all right,
you're right, King.
Yeah, I'll catch you later on.
All right, no problem. All right, man.
Hey, let me say this before I step down, guy, because I'm gonna listen offline, right?
Okay.
When he mentioned how much money Black people should get, right? Can't nobody kill my mama, my dad, and my grandmama, my granddad, and my kids and my family and say, okay, we'll give you this much money and it's going to be okay. That's one of the problems when people be saying, rapper, I'm not against nobody if that's what they feel going to make things better for them. But what I'm saying is, right, it's you have to think of the whole backstory. The reason I say reparations is a fantasy. Everything I just mentioned, they did, right?
Right.
So then they brought us here, right? Enslaved, right? We've been enslaved here. They built a whole country off the back of our ancestors' work, created a system to have us at the bottom. Now, why would those same people, I'm going to ask this question in step, why would these same people turn around and give you something and say, I want y'all to have everything we have? To me, it doesn't make sense. I think the only true reparations, the best reparation is internal reparations. What we do for ourselves would mean more to us than anything anybody else can do. That's my opinion. But brother guy, I got to step down because like I said, I'm planning to try to do a show in a little while. I'm trying to see if I can set it up.
All right, my brother.
But I'm going to be listening, man. Thank you for allowing me to speak, my brother.
Anytime. I'll be on your show shortly. I'm just gonna just wrap this up real quick.
Well, I ain't finna go live now. I'm just trying to see if I can set things up. But
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna spend for maybe another 20 minutes or so. Because I gotta share some things out. Yeah, so I wanna thank shout out to shout out to Erica Howard. How you doing, sis?
I want to thank shout out to
hey.
Shout out to Erica Howard. How you doing, sis? I want to thank
you might have a YouTube.
Shout out to Erica Howard. How you doing, sis? I want to thank
you probably have a YouTube. You have probably another window open. I hear echo. Okay, you good. Hey, sister, how you doing? I'm glad you came through. Brother Forecast, what's good? I put the link in if you want to come on, Brother Forecast. Eric, one who is...
I put the link in if you want to come on, Brother Forecast.
You hear me, sister? You hear me?
Eric, one who is... Put the link in if you want to come on, Brother Forecast. You hear me, sister? You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you. I hear a little echo in the back. You probably got another window open.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
You got
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm good. You probably got a window open.
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you probably got a window or YouTube window open. Can you cut one of those?
I don't know. I usually have my thing.
Okay, I don't hear it no more. I don't hear no echo no more. Okay, good. Okay.
It's usually a thing on there where I can mute this and talk to you.
No,
because I can hear echo too.
You good. You good. I can hear you now. Okay, I hear it again. Yeah. You should have a mute button. Don't you have a mute button? You have another window open.
Okay, I hear it. Yeah. You should have a mute button. You have another window open. Okay, yeah. You should have a mute button.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me try to figure this out.
Okay. Or you want to log, or you want to come back in and log and come back in? You want to log off and come back in?
Hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh wow.
I can hear you. Okay. See, probably. Yeah. Okay. So I want to just share screen something else. Something because, and that's another thing too. Black people. I want to go off the subject here, but well, actually, this is I'm gonna get into change the subject a little bit, but I'm gonna address this chick real quick that Biden had promoted as judge. Let me screen share this information. Let me screen share this. Oh shoot. Okay. Now he nominated or appointed this bed wench, and if you notice, her name is Kenjai Brown Jackson. If I'm saying it right, but this is who he got as the justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, a bed wench. I noticed that's the new thing when it comes down to white people. That's another, and this is what I always try to tell black people, that they do not want to see the unity between the black man and black woman. They hate that. That is the most powerful unity of the world. They do not want to see the unity between the black man and a black woman. Now, this black woman, this sellout piece of shit, she's married to a white man. She's married to a white man. His name is Patrick Jackson. She's married to a white man. Okay. Let me show you her picture on here. Show another picture. This is her again. This bad wench. Judge of the United States Court of Appeals, a District of Columbia, appointed by Joe Biden. Appointed by Joe Biden. Who's, you know what I'm saying? So why is that why are we letting these people handpick these coons and these coonettes for us? And they trying to, and all this fake symbolism. All this fake symbolism. That's what I'm saying. Something's very fishy when they want to push certain people out in for us and say, "Oh, this is your hero. Oh, look what we doing for black. Look what we doing for y'all." But she's a coon. She don't represent us. She's represent white folks. She represent white folks. We can't trust people like this. She's a coon. Let me show you something else. Yeah, try to log back in. It could be a probably had a little technical difficulties. Try logging back in again and see what happens. So let me share screen with her husband, her white husband, her you know. Let's see where her white husband. Okay, let's do that. Cause we gotta stop falling for these these coons and these bad wenches and that they put before us, and they're gonna say, "Oh, this is your hero. This is who you. This is who. See, this is what we're doing for y'all." That's her husband. That's what Joe Biden. That's what Joe Biden. And what did he say? He says, "Happy Loving's Day." Now they promote remember Richard and Mildred Loving, who Mildred is not even black, by the way. Mildred was not even a black woman, by the way. She was Indian. She was native Indian, according to her. But this is what they're pushing. Trying to separate the black man, black woman. So he says, "I'm happy Loving's Day. I am especially thankful for walking through life with a brilliant and compassionate partner who still takes my breath away. Made it possible for sacrificing like Richard and Mildred Loving." This is her husband, Patrick, who wrote this crap on July 12th, 2021. So it just shows you what they're trying to do. It just shows you the humiliation. This is embarrassing. I don't even know why black people is happy with this, knowing that she's not even with a black man. And black people gonna say Joe Biden is not racist. This is racism. This is racism. She's helping white people. She's helping. Hey, Sister Tanjan, how you doing, sister?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Well, what's your thoughts so far of what you have heard so far? Talk to me, sister. What's your thoughts so far?
Okay, when it comes to the first topic, the whole reparations, on any opportunity I get, I try to tell, the Black Americans, and I think Pelage also said it, that everybody around the world supports reparations for Black Americans. They're not trying to get in on it. They're not trying to, force themselves or anything of that, So I don't know where they got the idea that people don't want them to have something. Everybody wants them to have it. If they can have it, better for them, and sometimes maybe even for the rest of the people, because maybe they can also get theirs. But nobody is fighting against them for that. This whole thing, okay, they keep talking about, the code or the agenda, but when I go to them, okay, there was this one time there was somebody who had like a non-black wife, but he was still in there. There was another one where they had people of the lifestyle, to put it nicely, in there. Those are still part of the group. So if you allow people who go across, and collaborate, I don't know if that's the word, but go across and do this sort of thing that's on the screen. If you allow people who go off and engage in some strange things, with if all of those people allowed, you're not really creating an environment where other Black people around the world want to be a part of this thing, you know?
Right. And this is what the president of the United States appointed as judge. And he did this around so-called Black History Month that we have every Friday, every February, right? So this Joe Biden, and this president that we have is very racist, and this is what he put among Black women. Because now, ever since okay, I don't know if you know the story of Richard and Meldrick Loving. Meldrick was a Indian woman that was passing for Black, right? And what she did, she used the civil rights movement that Black people fought for, so we could have rights like voting and riding, sitting anywhere on transportation.
When you say Indian, you say the natives, not the
Native
right?
Indians, Native Indians, because that's what she claimed, right?
Okay.
And I believe her. She is Indian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's married to this white man named Richard, and she used the civil rights movement that Black people fought for so she could marry this white man, right? So this is what this white man is saying in this tweet, that if it wasn't for the Loving family, he wouldn't be able to marry this sellout, right? Now, as an African man like myself, we do not condone interracial relationship because that's not in African culture. We don't accept homosexuality because as African people, it's not in our culture. But Biden, this is racism, by the way. This is what racist people do. They put all this crap in front of Black people and say, hey, this is your leader. This is who you should worship. All this fake symbolism, right? Because they got to the Black man already. They know that Black men are more likely to sell out than Black women. So now they're trying to get to the Black. They trying to get to y'all now. They're trying to get to the African woman.
No, hold on. Let me interject a bit there.
Right.
Okay. Firstly, I know we started a conversation, but we didn't quite finish. And this was the issue with this whole lifestyle thing. I still feel as if Black Americans dropped the ball there, because I think that they should have come out more against this thing, than they did. And it's starting to become accepted and, tolerated, and not even accepted, even embraced. And when I first saw it coming out, to be honest, I think it was the women who were more they weren't against it so much. I think it was also because women and those feminine men, maybe they have some sort of friendship or something. But it shocked me that more Black women were defending this sort of thing, when it was really something that was against their interests. You can't support somebody who wants the same thing as you do, supposedly. And so that was the first thing. It was, they're also, and this is not to say, I'm, against them or I wish them ill or anything like that. I realize that some of them are that way because of, trauma and pain and all that sort of thing. But at the same time, you cannot promote, even if it's trauma and pain, you cannot promote it. It's not something that you can support just because somebody went. You cannot support abuse just because, that person was abused. So when I saw, this sentimentality, going on and with the women, that was the first thing. And then it was this men really came in next. And then, they just started becoming, even in the music, when you used to see the music of the old, those rappers, even, Dr. Dre and Naughty by Nature and all that, they were these like tough looking guys, they were gangsters, but they were tough. Nowadays, you see them, they're also so, with waif-like and skinny, like they can't even run, let alone punch. So, I feel that, Black men should have put up a bigger fight, for their values, because I don't see this as something that any community can support indefinitely without, things just going completely to pieces. Because if you support a family, what kind of a family can you support when you also support a lifestyle that entirely, goes against, that?
I agree. And that's what when I did my channel, my whole purpose was to unite the black family, the black man, black woman, and child.
Absolutely.
So I was always against this. This is a slap in the face, and this reminds me when Clarence Thomas, who was also appointed judge of the United States Court under President Bush Sr., I believe, and he was married to a white woman. It's the same thing. Now Biden just said, okay, we got the black man already all screwed up and chasing white women. And it's funny that you mentioned rappers. Dr. Dre married a white woman who found that they got tired of his black ass and divorced him. You had this other West Coast rapper named Exhibit. He married a white woman. These are so-called big bad black. Who?
Exhibit 2?
Yeah, Exhibit. Yeah, let me show you a picture.
No, don't. You know.
I will. All right, since I won't do it, I will get you. You already pissed off now. I will get you pissed off. Hey, sister, how you doing? Is everything all right? Everything cool?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, sis.
Yeah,
I got another
must
sister.
Have been a glitch somewhere. I don't know.
I got my other sister, Tanzan. Tanzan.
Hi, Tanzan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Welcome. We couldn't hear you for a bit, but now you're coming in clear.
Yeah, it was a glitch. It wasn't no mute or nothing. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I was half asleep when I came inside. I just came in on bits and pieces, and then I heard you on there talking. You like me, I can't take these here interracial. I gets really upset. It boils my blood when I see my brothers and sisters marrying outside of our race. It really, as they say that saying, it really burns my butt. I hate that saying, but it does. It's a shame that our race, we're sitting here, we're disgracing ourselves. You know what? Lately I've just been falling in and out of depression with this whole thing, and I'm ready to get out of here. You know, I'm ready to go now. I'm tired, but it's so sad. Many of us, we really don't have the finances, such as myself. You know, being a newly divorced, woman, just getting into the work where I don't really have enough money to say, hey, I got to get out of here. But like I wrote in the comment, all of us need to get together, form some kind of group, put our monies together, get some land, build some land for us on the continent, and just get out of this crazy place. This war got nothing to do with us. Everything that I'm seeing lately is just a distraction. Now they talking about we got another variant coming, and it's coming from Africa. And I said, I believe that's a lie. All these things are distractions to get us just thrown off course. You know what I'm saying? And none of our people are thinking what these people are doing to us. And we are the main focus of all this evil. And it's coming from our people. You know what? I am not blaming white people. No, I'm tired. I think blaming the white people thing now, it's like it's dead now. It's dead. This what's going on now is coming from our people. We are the new oppressors. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I heard something so strange today. I don't know how true it is, but I'm gonna do my own research. If we were all the people all over this planet, we were everything. You got the Black Renaissance. We were the Black Europeans, kings and queens, and all this other kind of good stuff. And this young person said that it was us that started all of the colonization. I don't know how true this is, but I'm gonna look it up. If we were the Black kings and queens before all of these Europeans came in? Did how everything got colonized? Did we enslave our own people? Because I just need to know these questions. We got so many different scenarios coming out, so many different movements coming out, and it's very it's confusing. It's like so bogging to the brain. You know what I'm saying? To set all what's going on around us. Then I hear about the reparations. I heard Brother Bakari talk about that. Reparations, guess what? I don't even want reparation. That right there, that's just a dead dream. We are the organic people of this planet. Everything is ours. Why do I need reparations for? Just give me back what belongs to me, which is my planet. All of these here reptilians, all these people that are inorganic to this planet, they just need to leave. Just go. Give us back our land. Our everything belongs to us. That money reparations could never replace everything that they done to us. It would never bring back lives. You know what I'm saying? That the education sucks. We need to have education that's going to educate our youth and the real history of our people before slavery came into existence. We need to teach them who they are, their identity, and how strong and powerful they are, what type of people that we are. You know what I'm saying? We are sun people. We are people of the sun. We are children of the sun. And there's so much power within us that we can't even tap into it yet because we're not even aligned with nature. You know what I'm saying? When the BS really hit the fan, a lot of our people going to be destroyed with the colonizers, with the elites. All these people, we're going to be destroyed too if we don't get our mindset together. I'm so tired of the same thing over and over. We got to do this. We got to get together and get us a plan. Okay, it's time. I'm tired of the talk. I'm getting so frustrated. Stop talking, and we need to put some plans into action. We cannot talk about stuff like this on YouTube. We need our own network where we can talk in silence, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes. Because putting this stuff on YouTube or anything else, Twitter, Facebook, all they doing is listening to what we're saying, and they'll counteract everything that we want to do. It's time to talk in codes and talk in silence. I know a few people, and Guy, AUF on YouTube. She's amazing. I mean, she's a great example, of how unification should be.
Right.
She just greeted another sister, fixed her home up. And
I'm sorry, who are you speaking about?
Huh?
Who are you speaking about?
Her name is African Unite Force. She's a young woman
yes,
from
Brother Bakari mentioned
that's my daughter. We became good friends. I met her through YouTube, and she's amazing. Yep. She's actually on the continent doing the work.
That's right.
And we need to unite with meet some positive brothers and sisters on the continent, like you said, God, and connect with them. I connected with her, and she's anybody from the diaspora that wants to come. She even fixed her home up, and you can go in there and start some planning. Well, get some businesses up on the continent. If you got money, move to the continent and start working on the continent. Get you some land, build up your home, start some businesses. Guess what? It's time to leave this godforsaken place. Because guess what? They're tired of us. They don't want us here. But we don't want them nowhere on near us, period. They need to get off the planet. That's as simple as that.
But
our people, yes, go ahead, guys.
No, I want to co-sign on that, because even when Abraham Lincoln, what they call Honest Abe, he did say that, hey, you black people, as long as you stay here in this country, it's going to be a superior race, it's going to be an inferior race. He said, and he was happy that as a white man, he's part of the superior race. This is documented.
Oh,
But
yes, I know it is. I
this
heard
is,
that.
and black
I
people
heard that.
black people totally ignores it. And I'm just like, it's already set on stone. This is the reason why we're still struggling. Because
But
this
guess,
is all. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
but,
sister. Yeah, go
but
ahead.
guess what? The more you tell people and the more you show them the receipts, guess what, God? Our people are under a spell.
That's right.
When I'm telling you, religion messed us up. That's why they call it the gospel.
Mm.
And let's look at the end of the word. The word spell is at the end of it. Our people are seriously under a spell. I was out today, and I was talking to I was waiting for the bus to go get my COVID test just to keep my doggone job. Well, it was these two older people there was talking about how excited they was to get the juice. And the older man said, yes, I am the longest living in my, and he's proud, I am the longest living in my family and all this. I said, so why did you get the juice then? You the longest living. You never had no sicknesses. You darn near almost 80, going on 90 years old. And you got all boosted up and you proud of this? I was so disgusted that the guy, my day I was disgusted all day. And then I saw your program. I'm serious. I got news today that the federal government cut
Disgusted
the
all day.
funding. Yeah, they cut the funding for the uninsured, for our jobs and anything, to get the free testing, for those of us who didn't get it. Now they cut the funding for us to get the free COVID test. Now we got to run all over the United States to find places to get tested.
Oh, wow.
Now I got an exemption, right? Not to cut the subject, but it all tells and ties in together. And now I got to run all over the place to get a code, to find me a free place. So you know what this here people in place that our people put in place to rule over us, they're trying to wear our people down. They're trying to wear us down until we just fold and give in. Where's all the warriors at? Oh, I'm a warrior, and I know it's going to get hard. I'm feeling it in my spirit that this is going to get harder. Now, this is the time for all of us to get together and support one another. I think it was a man on there talking about, let's help each other, feed people. This is the time. This is what we're going to need to do. Inflation is hitting us. Gas is high as heck. Your utilities is high as heck. Since this here war started, gas is up. I had a friend spend only $50 for a half a tank of gas, when she said $50 filled the whole tank.
Wow.
I had a friend's car. I just put $15 to wherever she had it at. The $15 didn't even hit the half a tank mark. I said, uh-oh. I said, it's begun. Matter of fact, it already started. I bought 5 or 6 items that was only $100 in the supermarket. I said, well, what did I buy? Utilities is going up. If you want to rent homes, it's going up. Apartments, a studio apartment at $1,000 for a little space. It's going to get hard, family. We need to start getting with one another. If you got to move back home to your mom and dad or whatever, other family members, start stacking up on food, water, batteries, or whatever. It's time to start pulling together, because this is going to get harder for our people. I can't speak for any other ethnic group, but for us melanated people, it's going to hit us like a ton of bricks. It's going to hit us. I'm starting to feel a little bit of it now.
Wow.
And it's going to get scary, but we can't be afraid. But we need to stop getting on this YouTube and stop fighting each other. The ADOS, the FBA, we have the Pan-African movement, which is the best movement, but the other two are fighting against us. Instead of all of us saying, okay, we are all one people. Forget these here titles and realize that we are one melanated race.
That's right.
And let's put our heads together and get a plan. Get a plan. Get to meet some of the Africans on the country. See what they
Mhm.
need over there. Stop trying to build up a place that don't want you. Go over to a place that they're much needed of their people. And that's the last thing I got to say. I ain't mean I'm ranting right now because
No,
I'm
no,
tired.
no. Because I was ranting earlier, so I know what you mean. But yeah, when I mentioned earlier that's what our money is going to help these Ukrainians. They help the Moranos in Mexico that claim they've been separated. They've been helping these Palestinians that biting us. All these people that's coming in this country. This is what we're paying for. Black people, mind you. Our money's
Mm,
going to people that hate our guts. And then they'll come in our neighborhoods, just like the Koreans, how they came in our neighborhoods and shot our babies.
mm.
Yo, what's her name? What's her name? Who got killed in the 90s? What's her name?
The little girl.
What was that girl's name that got killed in the 90s? That I did a whole video on, but she got shot right in the store because over orange juice.
Mm. And this was what an Asian person that did it.
Yeah, it was a Korean.
But you know what? The Asians been out since I was like more so when I was I could say a teenager. I could say I can't remember seeing a lot of Asians in our community when I was a little girl, like back in the 60s and the 70s. I didn't see that. Maybe more like in the 80s, I started to see more of the Koreans because then the weave hair was coming out. Because remember, we were natural. We didn't have all that stuff out back then and all them beauty supply stores. Now we're seeing them more in our neighborhoods. And you know, I know Biden passed a bill for the Asian because they were saying, remember, I know you probably heard it all on the commercials where you know they had Asians saying they were being attacked and all that, and they saying that it was black people that was
Mm-hmm.
attacking them. That was another side op too, you know,
Right,
because we don't. You guess what? They all in our neighborhoods.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I've
That's
never seen a black person just go up and just attacking a Asian person.
I
Okay,
haven't. Yeah, that's all propaganda. I have
that
not
was
seen
all.
that either.
Yeah, it was all propaganda. And then the Biden passed the bill, a protection bill for them. But we've been in this country, uh, from the during the time there was no protection bills put in place for us.
Well, then now, I mean,
Now
now they have the Emmett. They just now passed the Emmett
I
Till.
seen the Emmett Till, but guess what? That's another thing, guys. That's not nothing to protect us, cause that's to protect everybody, the
Right.
LGBT community.
That's what I
Cause
was about to say. Yeah.
you know the LGBT community, you know, they claim that they're being, being attacked and being killed
Right.
because of their preferences. That right there, that bill right there protects them. See how much it's going to protect us. It's not going to protect
It's not
us.
going to protect us. Yeah.
That's
And
for
that's
every other ethnic group of people.
right. That's by the way, that's the girl's name, Latasha Hollins. Yeah, that's her name. Who got shot by by that yellow bitch. That's right. Her. Yep.
Well,
And
you see,
she only got probation buying you. She didn't serve 1 day in jail.
did you see the young woman that went up in the Korean store? I don't know what part of the state it was in, and the Asian man beat her down in the store because he claimed she was going to pay for something, and he said she was stealing. And I
Yeah,
mean, it was on YouTube. I mean, he was slinging that young woman
I've seen that.
around.
Yeah, I've seen
I
that.
was like, what's wrong with our people? And we're still going up in these people's stores buying fake hair. These people don't care nothing about us. All they care is about the green money that we're paying in that store, and they taking it back to their beautiful communities. They all in our neighborhoods. No, every ethnic group that came in here from the Hispanics in the black neighborhoods now where the Koreans used to be at. They bought up all of their stores. Well, in my community, I don't know where everybody else in the other different community, but I know in my community, there used to be a lot of Asians. After they make a certain amount of money, they pick up and they leave. Now the Hispanics are all in their areas where the Chinese people used to be at. And now we're buying from the Hispanics. But there are no Black-owned stores in our community. Because first of all, we don't network. We don't have no warehouses. You know what I'm saying? We won't purchase nothing. We got the biggest purchasing power, but we don't patronize our own businesses. We'll patronize everybody else's. But when we get to our businesses that do start out in our communities, the first thing we want to do is jew their prices down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. How are our people going to make money if you keep jewing down their prices? Just pay for it.
Right.
You'll pay all these high prices everywhere else. I know my ex used to be a contractor. Oh, can build the heck out of a home and renovate. And every time he got to Black people, they never had the money, but they had the money for the whites.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. What's up? What's up with our people? Like I said, I'm so frustrated right now with my people. Guess what? I just want to just hide inside of myself. This is where I'm getting at, guy. I get really emotional. I'm sorry if y'all hear me crying, it's because I'm tired. I just want to go inside of myself and just hide. My people are so sad. They walking around like zombies and sleep. All they worried about is themselves, partying, drinking, getting high, driving fancy cars, living in fancy houses. Guess what? What's going to happen when that stuff disappears? You can't take it with you. You have to save yourself and build up your own spirit and your own people. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Let me get off this, man. I'm sorry. Go back.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. You know, I mean, we all frustrated. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, those Black folks that you're mentioning, it's you know, escapism become the new drug. You know, that's what it is. They're afraid to fight, and that's the thing. I want to show y'all something. I want to get Tanzan's opinion, and I want to get your thoughts on this too. I was watching. I don't know if do you know the show called Black Lightning?
No.
Okay.
No, I never heard of it.
It's a DC comic show where a guy, he's called Black Lightning. So it's all black. It's a good show, except Black Lightning, he has two daughters, two beautiful daughters. One of them is a lesbian.
Oh, Lord.
And on top of that, she's now remind you, she's pro-Black and this and that, but she's a lesbian and she's into interracial relationship. Right?
That sounds.
I'm gonna show
That sounds
you.
like somebody.
That's a contradiction.
We know, but okay.
That's right. But I'm gonna show you. Let me show you this because I snapshot this and I want to show you this because this is what they're doing now, where they get into our women now. They get into y'all now. They already got the Black man. Because if you look at the video, I named Exhibit, how he was married to a white woman. These are rappers now, big time, big bad rappers, married white people. So they already got to the Black man. You look at the athlete.
Hey, guys.
Right.
Guys, they already got the Black. Remember now.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Remember Diane Carroll? She was married to a white man.
Right.
Diana Ross. A lot of them were married before the Black man. A lot of them were married. A lot of Black women were married to white men. They had, if you listen to Willie Lynch, they got to us first. They were the first ones they got to. It was the Black woman.
But if you look at the statistics, there's more Black men is dating and married outside their race than Black women. Most I would say the majority. I'll say most Black women don't want to date outside their race.
You know why? Because we the ones that came back to ourselves. That's why.
Right.
And
But
also, I
most
say, I think it's also with the numbers. The numbers are more, the men, doing it, but the approval is the women. When it, let's say, when it comes to the, like this couple, if it's the man doing it, they look up, with a sneer. But if it's a woman, you're like, you go, girl, you found you
Yes,
one, and
I
so on.
agree.
So
and
I
the
this is what
approval is higher with the women, but the practice is higher with the men.
this is where you now you got women like Cynthia G and all these other coonettes. They talk about divesting in men, right? This whole
Right, those
divesting
ones.
movement. Now, this is what now white people play on this shit. Excuse my language. They play on this. So I'm gonna show you something, and I want y'all opinion on this because this is in the show Black Lightning. This is where they got so-called married, and now the black woman is becoming the man and the woman. And you see her, they got married, so to speak, and she's carrying this chink over the threshold like she's a man. So, and then
Wow.
this gook ain't doing anything, mind you. I'm gonna disrespect them because I don't like the motherfuckers. So this I ain't gonna front. This girl is this black woman. She is so beautiful. And I said, damn. And she met a lot of good brothers, a lot of intelligent brothers in the show. But this is what they doing to our youth, where they saying that, hey, they want to get to the women because they know the women are stronger, right? So here's this black woman. She wants to be the man and the woman because she's trying to seduce this Asian chick, and she's putting all this sexy lingerie on, and I was like, damn, like this is what they doing now, and they take the most beautiful African woman and they mess her up. Now I'm surprised she even took that role. That's what pisses me off. Like, why would you even want to take that role as a black woman, knowing that our youth going to watch it? It is supposed to be for children.
But guy, remember, this is Hollywood. Hollywood. These all of these things that you're saying are nothing but initiations. That's all it is. Now I noticed that the TV programs, since this here new gender roles and what they call it, binary, no genderless, ever since this here movement started, now they revamping television programs. Everything, like, remember, we were at that point, remember being young and black, we never seen superheroes like that we could identify with. Now TV now got so diverse now. Now you got the homosexuals, the genderless, the transgender. Now they having TV shows that they can identify with. So all that right now is going to affect our children. It's guess what? It ain't about us adults anymore because we already hit to the program. It's about programming our children's mind to accept this BS.
That's right.
That's on TV. That's why it's important to not, teach your children, educate them on studying and reading. Get away from these TV programs because it's programmed their mind. Because guess what? You're not going to just see the stuff on TV. You're going to see the stuff out in the street.
That's right.
I remember when Obama passed the same-sex marriage bill when he was in presidency. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was gay couples everywhere in my community just getting married, just coming out. I'm seeing two men on the street kissing, holding hands. I was with my ex at that time. I almost passed out. I said, what the heck? But this is the new world now. And they want us to adapt to it. Us older ones are not going to adapt to it. But guess what? If we don't teach our young people, they will adapt to it and they will start accepting it. That's the whole thing. They want to push this on them to make them accept it. Our job is to teach them against it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's our job.
That's
Stop
right.
watching. I don't even watch television.
That's
I
right.
don't.
Yeah, it's you know, I just had to just show the people because we are in a psychological warfare right now. Tanzan, what do you think about this? Like, how you feel when you see a black woman and I want to know, first of all, I want to know where you're from, and by the way,
Kenya.
Kenya. So do you when you see this, like, how do you feel about how they pushing homicide? Even in Africa, they pushing this
Yeah,
filth.
there was actually this, and I don't want to give it any more, any publicity, but there was a film a couple of years ago when they had this, this female couple, and they were trying to push it very hard, but it was banned actually in Kenya. So, in most countries over there, they really don't play with these things. They say we don't want our people, our children to be that way. And while they're not, hunting them down and all that stuff, it's still not approved. And this is why I keep saying that I feel that, as leaders of, the Black community, Black Americans should have been, supportive. I know that they have supported Africans a lot in the past, but I think this was one area where they could have come out and said, we are with them on this one, because I know that, you guys are too. This is something that everywhere, even Jamaica, there used to be a time when they were very much against it.
That's
And but even them, everybody's just conceding slowly by slowly. But I know that within us as a people everywhere, this is not natural to who we are. So when I see this, to me also, Miss Arike said.
Arike. You can call me
Arike.
Tina. You actually you can call me Tina. A friend of mine gave me that name. Arike mean one who is pampered. But you
Oh,
can
that's
call my
lovely.
yeah, it's a Yoruba name. But you can call me Tina. That's really
No,
my
no, no,
name.
no. I will call you Arike. So,
right.
because it sounds to me also like Rafiki, which is friend in Kiswahili. But like you said, this is not who we are, and this is not, what we want to pass to the next generation. And I'll go back, to the women, because the men can hold themselves accountable. I'll hold, the women, including myself. But it's something that we don't do with each other. If we see somebody as our fellow woman, acting a certain way, I think we're more lenient with each other sometimes than we should. And I know for sure, especially with this lifestyle, the younger women, when it came, they were the more accepting of it, even when the men were not so much of it, especially with the gay men. I know also with the threesomes also, it started with the two women first, and then it makes the women okay with it, and then they introduce the women first, and then once you're okay with that idea, then they bring in the limp-wristed men. So, and with the IR stuff, that also happened even in Africa. The Portuguese, when they first came, the first people that they married local wives, and they had this mixed children, and those were the ones who could go between back and forth and so on, and then they came back viciously. So that's one thing that people they conquer both by hate and by so-called love. So when people talk about, oh, it's just loving, it's not about love. Marriage is about the union of families, the union of communities. You're not just going to be married in a bubble. If that was so, then marriage would be a private ceremony. You could go off in an island and get married, but the reason why you do it in public is because it's something that affects everybody. So when you sorry.
No, it's facts. You're right. I have to agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so when we see images like this, presented to the children, and they're supposed to look at this as some sort of thing to aspire to, it's a bad look. Firstly, and what is it for? Like, if you look at this, what are these people trying to produce? They can't have a family, so everything science is now used against nature. Whereas science used to be the study of nature, now it's just used to make these unnatural monstrosities, turning men into women, making these weird experiments with human beings, putting stuff in them that nobody really understands. Like, if there was an era of evil science, I think this is it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I think Ricky will agree with me on this too, because that's what they're trying. They try to make black people into some Frankensteins with these
Yeah.
hormones and experiment hormones where black men can have breasts like women and all this other sick. I mean, just sick. And they don't, but at the same time, they don't talk about the diseases that black people are producing when they get into this lifestyle. And that's what it is. It's a self-destruct. They are putting this off so they don't have to say, oh, we're not doing this. Y'all are killing each other. We're not killing you. You're doing it to yourselves. And I hear more white people are saying that now. We didn't ask you to what about black or black crime? Y'all killing each other. They don't want to take no blame or nothing. They just say, look, we'll put the guns in there. We put the drugs in there. And it's up to y'all to take it. We didn't ask you to pick up the gun and buy the gun and shoot another black man or another black woman. And this is what they're doing. They're trying to erase their wrongs doing. And I agree. We have to take accountability. We should not have to take on roles. This black woman right here, she didn't have to take on that role. She could say, no, I'm not doing that because it's a bad image for our people. And
Right. And
go ahead.
And also sometimes for me this is sometimes what irritates me about some people who do want to learn about the history. Some people, they want a certain history, so they want things to fit. I've seen two things with that, with the whole there was somebody who was claiming that ancient Africans were gay, and then they bring up some obscure practice in some tribe they're not even sure about, and they say, oh, you see, they had this and that. And so firstly, let me say that in no place in any African society was such a practice ever condoned, or there's nothing, so they cannot use that. Let me just say that. The second thing is this whole idea of matriarchy and women warriors just running off into battle and so on, which I wonder, what are the kids doing? Who's taking care of the kids? I had a discussion with somebody who was talking about saying, everybody should, the men and the women should know their roles and and play them. And he was saying, well, those roles are Eurocentric and this and that and so on, and patriarchy. And I said, look, it's not everything that they give a name to is theirs. We can't use their definitions for what something is. Everything that we did, they can come and take, and then they give it another name. So when it come to the women warriors, no, in every tribe it was the man who was the head of the household. He was the provider, he was the fighter, and the woman was the head of her household, and mostly she had her own house. She was the ruler of her house, and the man was the protector of the compound. So this idea that in Africa women just ruled, there are some matriarchal societies that mean the women had their own power base, and there was like a queen mother and so on, but at the end of the day it was the men who were in charge of everything. So that was the one. And he was saying, well, men should take a more feminine role. Well, and I asked him, well, if the robber was at the door, do you want your wife to go and fight him? Do you want somebody to do something that they're not equipped to do? Do you want the men to have babies and carry them around? So sometimes we argue against something without really looking into the basis of it. Say something like sorry to go on, like polygamy. Some people also say, they think it's just about a man, just having several wives and having the time of his life. All the African principles were usually based on the next generation, which was the children. So polygamy was firstly that no child was going to be illegitimate, that there was no child that was going to be born and say, oh, you are wrong to come into this world. So this idea of, a side or a mistress or a woman who is not, there was almost anathema, because what would happen to the child? The same thing with the women. They did not want a woman to be, by herself, trying to fend by herself. So, she was always under the protection of either, the father or the husband or the community. So everything was to protect everybody, so that really nobody was left on their own. Everybody had some sort of protection. And also, with the polygamy, if let's say that the mother died, some women who died during childbirth, who was going to take care of her children? The children were usually considered, everybody was your mother. You had like 2 or 3 mothers. So if something happened to them, the rest of the mothers would take care of all the children. So everything was not always, even with the idea of slavery, Africans sold each other. when Africans started the practice of helping each other, it was more for a relative, and they still do it even now. You have a relative, they come and they help. Even when women got married, you take two of your women friends, and then they would stay with you for a year or so, helping you around the house and getting used to your new life. So there was always this idea of somebody helping each other, and the idea of work was actually revered. But when, the colonizers came, work became, slavery, something that people used to just do naturally because people used to go work in the fields. Now, you're working in the field with a whip, behind your back. So, it's such a perversion of all the natural things. And also when it comes to this lifestyle, you look at it and you say, what are they trying to achieve? What is the point of two women or two men getting together? They're not trying to have children. They can't, even if they tried, unless they try those weird scientific methods and so on. So we've just gone, we are just upside down. Everything is upside down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tanzan, thank you for breaking that polygamy thing down. See that because you're Kenyan, you're a sister from the continent, so you have first hands on how um things started. Because I always wanted to know really from an African about how polygamy went. Because like women like myself, I'm like, okay, if this stuff happened, what happens to a woman like me? Who has no protection. My children are already going. They already grown already, and it's just me by myself. And would I enter into something like that? No, because of the way the stigma of this polygamy thing, is about sex and is about this and about that. But thank you for really breaking that down. So now I have a real better understanding of that.
Oh, you're most welcome. Most welcome. I could have said more, but I didn't want to go completely off topic. But yeah,
Right. Yep.
there
I
was,
got you. Yeah.
yeah.
No, but it actually all this is go hand in hand. All this that we're talking about, it goes hand in hand because and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just as frustrated, that's the reason why I came up with this topic, because you have this bastard as president that I didn't want in office. And number one, he was against reparation was brought up to him. He totally tried to beat around the bush with that. But as you can see, he has billions and billions of dollars for Ukrainians. He has billions and billions of dollars for the Palestinians. He has billions and billions of dollars for the Mexicans. But when it came down to us, and the reason why, I'm gonna say this, the reason why they don't want to give us anything is because some of us would probably take it back to Africa and rebuild Africa, because that's what the money was supposed to be. Anything that was supposed to do was to rebuild what we came from. That's what it's supposed to. If you look at the Japanese, how the Japanese were in concentration camps in the United States in World War II, they got their reparations. They gave
And they went back and built up their home.
Japanese
Woo-hoo.
look beautiful now. Look at
Mm.
Japan now. So
And they a world superpower.
world superpower, yeah. Yeah. So that's the reason why, some of us are now going to Ghana or whatever. But the sad thing about it, Enrique and Tan, is that you got these FBAs and ADOS, and they're working along with the enemy, and they're saying, "Oh, you're not African. Why would you want to go back to Africa?" And da da da. So now they want you to be stuck here.
Cause they saying we the Moors. We supposed to be the Moors, and we supposed to fight
I don't
for
know what a Moor
our
is. I
identity.
don't know what
I don't even know what a Moor is.
yeah, that era died out long time ago. So, but these are people that want to rehash. Some black people say, "Yeah, we are slaves." Some black people think they're slaves. They're slaves now. So that's what you're seeing now. You got black people are just out of touch of nature. They're not into anything. They, like you said, they into just partying, and all this, and that's another thing, Ricky and Tanzan. it's all this misinformation on YouTube. And just like Tam broke it down about polygamy, there was this big misconception. Oh, well, you know, black people, they want wives because they just want to, because they are pimps, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying about women want to feel protected. If something happens to the man, you want to know you're covered. You know, just like if a woman passed away of giving birth, she want to know if the kids are being taken care of. You know, why would a woman wants to rely on a system that, number one, that's going to humiliate them, mistreat them, that ain't going to give them all the resources. Now they saying, well, if you, and the system's still the same, they say that you can have babies, you can have as much, and we can fund you, and we can put you could if you want to be on public assistance, fine, but you can't have a man around. So now you got all these women, they're having all these children by different men, and that's how they get in public assistance. So the whole family tree is destroyed. Everything is out of whack. So you got all these half brothers and sisters from different men. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens, it brings shame to the families. It brings shame to the community. You see what I'm saying? It's how the system has been made so us to self-destruct.
Just like that song you put on, Self-Destruction. Woo-hoo!
Self-destruction, yeah.
When you put that on there, it took me back to my teenage years when we were conscious back then.
That's
I was
right.
like, yo, self-destruction.
Right. And they had to destroy that because a lot of black people back in those days in the 80s was talking about coming back home, going to Africa. Some of them did. African Bambaataa, all of them, X-Clan, all these guys coming back home. But they had to find a reason to destroy it. So they came up with gangster rap. Right? They came up with
I remember when the gangster rap when the gangster rap came, that's when I stopped listening to rap. Cause rap was fun. Like it was not only conscious, right? It was teaching us something, and it was fun. It wasn't demeaning the women. That you see how they used to dress back then. We dressed nerdy back then, but it was a cool style. But if you say it now, oh my goodness, oh Lord,
yeah,
don't let me start.
It was the golden years, and you know what? Too, hip hop is really. It comes from Africa. That's what people don't understand. Hip hop. You could say it started from the Bronx, but if you notice, the first thing you hear is the drum, it's the beat.
That's right. Everything came out of Africa. Our dancing, everything.
Yes, all that tell the story. Our dances tell stories. That's
yes.
Africa. And a lot of people don't understand that. People say, "Oh no, that's America. That come from the Bronx." Yeah, but it's the root.
It have a root. That's right. It has its origin, and it starts from off of the continent.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I won't even try to claim that, lest I venture into cultural appropriation territory. But can I ask, for me, what I've been thinking all this time is this: do we really love ourselves firstly as individuals, and then maybe as a group? Because when you look at the title, he welcomes really his people. For them, we accuse them of being evil and destructive and causing chaos and all that, but they love their people. Like I can't imagine. It's like seeing a dragon and then spitting fire and just killing indiscriminately, and then the dragon turns its head and pets one of its little dragon kids. Even the worst of the worst, they still have that in them. So if we are supposed to be better, how do we not have this this love for ourselves. Because sometimes I think, oh, it's one thing or another. It's politics, economics, all of these things. Sometimes I thought maybe even religion, but as this thing recently showed, religion is nothing compared to a virus. Even God wasn't prepared for this thing. None of the gods is not just one type, because the way they every single one of them just crumbled and let the state, kick their ass around and tell them what to do. In any other situation, they would be out there that's just, praying all this stuff away. And then you see that they just, whether you believe or not, the rules were the same. So, I know that it's not, it's not religion. The only thing that for me, I can see, because you don't have to agree with everybody on anything, but to me, the one way that the one area that the religionists agreed on was that they were not promoting this whole lifestyle, which even that is still boggles my mind that they didn't put up more of a resistance towards this, because there's nowhere in any scripture, in any book, in any that advocates or gives justification for this kind of thing. Like it was faith nothing against it? Was I just don't understand. That's why sometimes I think the reasons we ascribe are not even the ones, because if something this powerful was against the most powerful thing in the world, they should have been tearing down the heavens and the earth to stop it, and yet they just conceded quietly.
Yeah, I just think that I think it's a lot of individualism going around. We're not thinking collective, and that's what I've been preaching. I won't even use the word preach. I'm sorry, teaching. I should say that we need to come together as a collective. Like, for example, and I think I said this on Brother Bakar. I think Tanzan. Remember, I said this before. I said in the United States, I never seen a brother or sister from the continent homeless. I never seen that. I seen a lot of so-called Black Americans bumming on the street, but I never seen anybody from the continent homeless. I saw them being independent and very motivated. They got their own business. They are determined to work for themselves. If we join them, maybe we can learn from if we go back to our roots, because at the end of the day, those Black people from Africa, those are our roots. Those are the people that we should be learning from to get back in our natural state, because we fucking lost.
But you know what, Guy? When our brothers and sisters from the continent come here, they form, just like Asians form their own community. So the Africans that come here, they form their own communities too. Like they have their own supermarkets, like they call it a produce, because a lot of them do not eat our food here. I know. I work with a Nigerian woman she lived here like 5 or 6 years, and she do not eat American food. She she has friends that send us something from the continent, from the UK, and they have their own. But see, if we got into the communities with them, like you said, and we can work together, and we can form our own little our own little African community. You know what I'm saying? I know our African community, kick that American stuff to the curb. But if we all, get together, get us a supermarket, get our own supermarket, and just have food come from the continent, a fresh food to come and then just buy and just, put into that establishment. And once they get that establishment started, the money can build something else. It can build something. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
But the thing is that a lot of the foods that we do eat come from Africa. Like watermelon come from Africa, rice come from Africa. We just make it differently. I mean, as far as the dishes, but all that stuff come from Africa anyway.
But guess what? Just recently, I was looking at something with this African, I think she was either Nigeria or Ghana. She was saying now the Chinese are selling them plastic rice, because they have the gas thing, the fire comes up where they cook on. She took a whole a can of a cup of rice and threw it in the fire, and it was burning.
Oh my God.
Rice don't
Oh,
burn. It was actually plastic. And even here, we got to be careful here because I seen several videos on it. Because when I was practicing the Hebrew Israelite lifestyle, a friend of mine did a video, and we have to even be careful of the rice that we eat here.
that's true. I agree.
Yeah. So the
True.
foods that we're eating, we don't know if they're grown in the lab. Because if you eating fruit out of its season, you are not in the season. You are not eating the proper fruit, because over here we're eating a lot of fruit out of season. And when you eat fruit that's out of season, it's not giving you the benefits that you need. That's why a lot of us is sick. I love
Mm,
pineapples. I love strawberries and stuff. That when I look up fruit that I'm eating, I want to know if it's in season, because if it's not in season, I'm not going to buy it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us as melanated people. We need to know what vegetables is in season and what's not, and what fruits, so that we know we're getting the proper benefits. But everything is so scary these days. We're kind of like eating to survive. You know
And
what I'm saying? So we got to learn how to fast.
but you know
We
what? I
do.
want to. I have to agree with you because when I went to Jamaica, and I ain't gonna front, the food is totally different. It's your
Yes.
all that is. I mean, it's not. It's organic. It's clean, and it's fresh. It come from the ground because black people over there, African people in Jamaica, they live off the land.
Yes.
And we're not living off the land, and that's the problem. Like you said, we don't know what this food comes from. To be honest
But you
with you,
know why? Because many of us live in the city. We don't have, like, if you go into suburban areas, like I'm from Philadelphia. So if you go out like to Lancaster, you go out to Reading, where you see a lot of farmland. This is where we need to live. We need to live on the outskirts of the city. We need to be more where there's land where we can grow our own food. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
On our property, or just buy land, period. But as long as, let me tell you, everything that's going to hit when stuff start hitting the fan, it's going to hit us that's in the city. That
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? That's why I prefer to live I prefer to be on a continent, really. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're really going to do something, we need to be on the outskirts where we can start growing our own food. Because you hear Bill Gates buying up all the farmlands and all this other kind of stuff.
Mm,
Well, guess what? We in the city, in our houses, in our backyards. Where can we grow food in our backyard when you got stray animals, going in, that's living
yeah,
in our backyards? You
it's
know what I'm
true.
saying? Unless you
Yep,
build like a little greenhouse to cover everything. But yes, we do need to be on the outskirts.
I
We
agree.
really do.
I agree. Yeah, so
There is urban farming, but earlier when you were speaking about the African communities, that is a fair thing, because most people, when they do come, they do isolate themselves in their communities, and there's
Mm-hmm.
two reasons. Sorry.
But no, I was saying, I
Oh,
was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And there's usually two reasons for that. This is in general, just immigrants, not specifically for Africans. Usually it's because when somebody first comes, there's you do need a network of people to help you. I know, for example, like Cameroonians, the Chinese, they have, if somebody comes in, there's a place for you to stay, a place for you maybe to start a little bit of work, and so on and so forth. So most of the time it's mostly just out of survival, when you're huddled together. So most of the time it's about survival, and then after that, it's about trying to help each other out. And it's not all of them. Some of them have more success than others. Like Ethiopians have managed to build not just social but economic communities. Some of them are just social, like most African communities. They're more informal or church based, and some of them are actually business. I know Nigerians, they have some very powerful cooperatives and communities out here. So that's the first thing. And when it comes to this thing, it's not just one side or another. It's both sides, and I think that the Africans also should reach out, especially the ones who've been here for a long time, because I know when it first came out, it's not very easy to just go and talk to somebody. You're in a strange country, you're new, anything you say is just going to come out different and so on. So most people that I know, that most of the time the policy is just to keep quiet, keep your head down, don't ruffle any feathers, and so on. So you become more comfortable as you learn your way. So I think Africans definitely should go out and reach out to to the Black Americans and just form these partnerships, because there's nothing more than being welcomed. Like somebody's like, oh, you can come to a country and you still feel a stranger, but when somebody invites you to their home, that is such a I don't know how to put it. It's just a very touching thing. And the one thing I noticed about, especially white Americans, when they came here, you can hang out with them all day and all night, but you'll never know where they live. Anyway, so, there's that. And then for the Black Americans, I think also, it's the same. You shake hands, it takes two to shake the hand. So for them also, I think they should have, something like a place where Africans, when they first come in, we can go learn about the history, or just have a representative go and say, hey, we noticed you're in this community, we would like to share. The best thing to break all kinds of ice, like you said, is the food. I mean, food just brings people together. Even if you don't like the food, the fact that you're eating something different, it's always a good thing. So for me, like the first time I had the Jamaican jack chicken, oh my goodness, I didn't know that there were new ways of making chicken.
And that's what I like. I like how we can, because even though we all come from the same place, but we have different style of doing things, right?
Right.
Because there's no such thing as white people. They make their own type of dishes, right? We do our thing, right? But our thing comes from come from Africa. Like I said, we like yams. African people like yams, even in the middle, they like yams.
Yeah, we do.
So we haven't lost our culture. We haven't lost it.
Actually, we haven't. We haven't.
No, yeah, we haven't. We haven't lost our culture. Like I said, you eat white people's food, it's totally different.
It's bland.
It's bland, and they have their certain style of cooking, like macaroni and cheese and stuff like I'm just using that example. They have their own way of doing things. Like but when we eat, look, I went to African restaurants, and I really don't see no difference what they cook and how Black people over here cook. It's no different.
Only thing, that chicken, like I have a friend, that chicken is different. That chicken is harder. It's not like first, like I was from what she explained to me, that chicken is different. Because when she seen that chicken here, she was like, "What is this?"
That's right. Oh, where's your friend from?
She's from Nigeria, but she lived here.
I understand. I completely understand, because the first thing that put me off meat here was just how soft it is. Like, are you eating meat or are you eating bread? Even for us, you have to struggle with your chicken. You have to take it and pull it and all that. And here you cut chicken with a knife. So yes,
I love when you say like that. I'm telling you, when I come around my African brothers and sisters, I just falls apart. I just love my peeps. I know people were looking at me. They was like, "Well, why you love Nigerians? Why you love Africans?" I said, "Because those are my people."
Right.
Well, they don't know that's just you. I said, they don't have to know. I know.
Exactly.
I just love I wear my African clothes. I got a whole suitcase full. I goes every year to a friend's shop and buy my Ghanaian clothes. And oh man, I just walk around the city with my clothes. They be like, "Oh my goodness!" The people thinking I'm from Africa. Yeah, I'm from Africa. I'm gonna represent while I'm on this continent or country, whatever. I'm gonna represent.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna, before I close out, I want to show y'all something. that to me is an inspiration to our youth. Two things I want to show. Have y'all heard about the African ancestral wall of Ghana?
No,
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm gonna show. Let me show you this. Let me show you. Let me screen share this, and then I'm gonna show you something else. Well, first I'm gonna show you. Let me show you this real quick. Let me show you. Let me show. Okay, let me play this video. Okay, give me 1 second.
Everybody, welcome, 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 as we say in Fra Leazade. They say Aquaba, of course, is what you hear the most when you're here in Ghana. That's Chief for welcome. And of course, welcome. So what I'll do is we'll walk through fast or slow. Sometimes I can take hours, other times we can do it quickly in minutes. If you have any questions, feel free. Don't worry about being messing up anybody's.
Now, this is all the ancestors that we all should know. They have all the beautiful pictures of all the ancestors in Ghana. So he's going to show some of them.
Recordings, because the information is more than is more important, and your questions are important. Okay, so I'll start off here. My wife is from the north of the country, and they call it Bolgatanga in this area. One of the heroes or sheroes from that area is a woman called Apoko Kanyani. Apoko Kanyani was back during the slave trade days when there were other Africans and Europeans gathering Africans from the north. She was able, with her pestle, and this is the reason she has a pestle, to basically, a pounding, was basically able to ambush some of these slavers, and one in particular, and bashed his head, killed him on the spot. So they decided maybe this is not the best place to come for more, and provided relative security, just the reputation of her and the ladies there and what had happened, and the word got back. So they said, let's leave this spot alone. So even if you go there now, you'll find that people have a different kind of attitude about being conquered. You see.
Say the name again, please.
Apoko Kanyani. That's a Fra name. Okay. Now, some of these we won't go so far as Queen T. I know a lot of you have been, in the African-centered community a long time. So very, very prominent queen in 18th dynasty. She's related as either the mother or the aunt, or different stories to Akhenaten, and so that's Queen T. And if a lot of you, I know Brother Asa Hilliard, and he used to always tell us this was maybe his favorite queen, with a combination of things: power, beauty, grace, influence, wisdom, the whole thing. So this is sisters on the cover, on the front. When you come in, I want everybody to know Queen T when they drive in that gate.
Okay.
Now, of course, I don't have to say too much about the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I mean, I'm a Garveyite, trying to be a functional Garveyite, and be here where we have land, the population, and resources, and see what we can do. So I always like for the youngsters to be aware of Marcus Garvey and the UNIA, and of course, a lot of you know the story that it being the largest black organization the world has ever seen. You read Garvey today, you think he just standing down in the corner writing it now, because the man has such foresight and brilliance. So we give Garvey the honor. I know there's not many questions on Garvey, but that's why he's central, because to me, his solutions are still the most relevant and practical solutions there are.
When did you become a Garveyite?
Well, I think I've just been I think I've always been a Garveyite without announcing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take it to the functional level,
Absolutely.
as opposed to just
talking about the.
But things start with talk, so I don't. We talk and then hopefully we act. Kwame Nkrumah, of course, a lot of you know he's Ghana was the very first country in Africa to get its independence. And a lot of you will hear a lot more about Kwame Nkrumah on this trip. So I won't go too far with it other than to say that, he was the very first leader of independent post-colonial state in Africa. And of course, it was in the development, freeing the African mind, a lot of the shackles that we had accumulated over the years of colonialism. And of course, he's a great man here in Ghana.
This particular portrait of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah,
yes,
is extra special because the vividness and the color of the artist's rendition of it is like so real. Like right here, right now. I mean, they're all wonderful, but
and they're different artists.
I was going to say that was where I was coming.
You can see a different artist. The first three artists is I have a Rasta friend who's very brilliant with the abstract art. As you can see, it's a little different. This one is a little more realistic. This is a different guy here. I'll talk to you about these two in a second. These two are local. I'm in New Ningo, so these are the founders of New Ningo. Jonas Kabu, who was the first person here, and Ijamna, who was the first chief here, brought by Mr. Kabu here. So all of the local people and their youngsters, when they come here, we have to give proper respect. And a lot of them really don't know the history of their own folks. So we're fortunate enough to have pictures. These are very, very old pictures, but we had them. So we're lucky enough to have the realistic pictures of the founders of the place you're standing now. This is not Prom Prom. This is New Ningo. But across the street is Prom Prom and going back that way. But we're actually in New Ningo, N-I-N-G-O. Rhymes with bingo with the N. New Ningo, because the other place was Old Ningo. Now, my wife did this while I was gone, so I just saw it the first time yesterday. I like it. Welcome to Malevolence. Now we're Malevolence. You also see Abomas. Sometimes you'll see African Ancestral Wall. I know it looks like maybe that's an IRS thing. I'm trying to no.
I just want to show that our people are coming back home. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that was a beautiful, those portraits are so beautiful, and that we come from great people, powerful people. And we should not forget them. We should not forget where we come from. We should not forget our history. We should adopt our culture. We should adopt our spirituality. We should embrace what our people have given us. And I think we lost that. But I think that was a great of portraits and to me, I just took it. Our people coming back home, and that's how I took it. I thought it was a beautiful thing. What y'all thoughts about that?
I loved it. Yes, I did. It was beautiful to see, all those beautiful artwork of these of our ancestors, and we got something to look forward to when we go down, when we go on the continent, like even like in here in America. I mean, I really haven't. I mean, that's me. I really haven't seen any pictures, of I mean, just besides Martin Luther King, I'm talking about African people, like ancestors that were here, you know what I'm saying, that were born over here, that did some wonderful things. But I haven't really seen any of those pictures, especially in Philadelphia, because we are a place where people visit a lot, but you'll see more of other ethnic groups. Like you got the Jewish Holocaust, they have their thing, and you got the Liberty Bell, and I'm starting to see a little bit of black statues or black symbolism, like the hair pick and little stuff like that. But I want to see pictures, because pictures tell a whole lot. It tells a story. You know what I'm saying? We need more stuff. We need stuff like that, here too. But that was beautiful. I really enjoyed that, looking at that.
Mm-hmm. Tanzania?
Same. I share the sentiments, and let me just say this, as an African, for me, the greatest debt I owe to blacks in America is, that of identity. And I know it sounds strange, because we are the ones who are supposed to know ourselves and so on. But like I always say, you don't know an Africa that you're an African until you leave the continent. Because we, as black people all around, we're still under somebody else's definition. So we're not even self-defined. When you were talking earlier about the food being organic, to us, that was just the natural way of doing things. A chicken should run around and go eat worms and come back. And chickens, by the way, are very intelligent. I don't know why people here think that they're not, but chickens, they know when to leave the morning, when to come back. They know where to find food. You really don't have to do too much with chickens. They are very independent and very intelligent. Like you'll let a chicken out in the morning and it will roam around and it will come back at the same time. They will all come back at the same time. Anyway, sorry. But even that idea of organic, this is something that when I go back, I tell people, this food is actually organic. They're like, oh, okay. Now they appreciate it because Western person has given it a fancy name, whereas before it was just regular food. The same thing I would say, even with the idea of God. And Africans are a religious or spirit, whatever you want to call it. But even the idea of God, we all had our own, deities or whatever you call them. But we had to, now we're defining them in terms of somebody else. The most stark aspect of it is the whole gender of God. Most African religion, languages, there's when you say a person, there's no he or she. When you refer to a man or a woman, it's just that person. There's no difference between a he or she. Same thing with God. When the God in African religions, it's not, you don't say he or she. It's just a God. There's no adjective to it. But when it comes to English, you have to really force your brain to pick a side, so to speak. For us, when you speak what is God, is just and we didn't need a definition for it. We knew there are some things that you just knew. And for I think for Westerners, they have to define, they have to cut everything into small pieces in order for them to understand it. They just can't see something and appreciate it. They want to cut up the sunset into tiny bits of light to really understand it. But for us, we were able to take in the whole thing as a whole and realize that God was not just something outside. It was within, it was around you, it was other people, it was this, but it was not codified in books. It was not written, you shall do this and so on, because the principle, once you have the principle and the mentality that your brother is your brother, that children are to be protected and women are to be honored and men are to be respected, once you have that idea, you don't need rules in fast and hard stone. You just have to treat each other that way and practice it. So I think we didn't realize the importance of that. And when somebody else came, with their books and so on, we thought that our ways of doing things were, sort of primitive and not up to par, not realizing that we had solved, a lot of, especially the communal problems. The biggest problem in the world is living with each other, putting up with each other, and I think we Africans, solve that problem in terms of everything is to be for the family and, for the protection of the children. Everything else, stems from that. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that sometimes we define ourselves by their terms. We didn't have a time like patriarchy, but we knew that the man was, to be respected. We didn't have things like, feminism and all that, because we didn't look down, upon women. So sometimes even thinking, we think in their terms. So I'm happy when I say that I owe Black Americans, that identity, is because things that I had taken for granted back, in Africa, even, the Blackness, the culture, the heritage. It wasn't when I first came here, somebody spoke Swahili and said, oh, Swahili. And I was like, oh yeah, what's the big deal? And that was like, oh, that's so cool, another language, something that, I had never really, thought of as important. So us appreciating each other, sometimes I think that's what we need, because we really don't know what we have, until, not that it's gone, but sometimes it takes somebody, to see it. So I feel in my heart sadness about, what Black Americans went through, that the whole entire history up to now. But the one thing that I would say that, Black Americans got out of that was, the idea of, unity, resistance, and that Black identity. For me, I'm tired of being nice to people. If I was in charge, I would be Kunta Kinte all over the place. I would put the Africans and whip them until they said, yes, we're Black. I would take the Black.
Facts. Well, I want to before I close, I'm going to show something. One more thing, because a lot of our youth haven't seen money in their image. So I thought this was kind of cool to see. You see money, African money, and with actual Black people on it. Because all our lives we see George Washington and Lincoln,
all that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just to see this, and we think it looks like, we were probably, that's not, that money looks fake or whatever. But because we got so used of American money, we think American money looks better. But we're not used to seeing money with Black people on it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm totally against putting Harriet Tubman on any of this U.S. currency. Put Harriet Tubman on one of these money on here. I'm cool with that. Put Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner and Malcolm X, all of them on African dollars, African currency. I'm happy. They should not be on no U.S. currency, and I'm against that. I don't want that. Put them on African currency. That's how I say. But I like to see this, and this is something that we should embrace. And all this stereotype that Black people don't have no currency, and there's no Black people on money. That's not true. They have Black banks and everything. So I just wanted to throw that out there to just show the people, yes, we have money in our image. So with that said, I'm gonna give Tanzan. Tell the people where they can find you from, what you do, and you can say your last statements, and then we go to Enrique. Tell people where they can find you from and what you do, and you can give your last statements. You could pretty much take all the time you need. So.
Oh, thank you. I'm just a listener. I'm the spook, but I'm not an evil one. I think that the first thing that if I'm going to go back to my people and talk to them, I have to learn. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing. Just knowing, meeting people, talking to people, and doing that. I'm not on anything out there. I'm usually just learning. And so just to reiterate, when you talk about money in the image, like I never even thought that was a big deal. I never thought that there's a place where you can't see Black money, because I see Kenyatta there. I remember that note. They've changed it over the years, but I remember the note. And like you say, you don't really think about these things until somebody who's not used to seeing it points it out. And I didn't realize that the Black Americans here don't really see that the same way. For us, we see too much of the opposite. We see the Black money and then we see the white Jesus. So so peace.
Facts.
Thank you. And I'm just so proud. I'm so proud that the spirit of Africa still persists, even all these years later. They have tried to beat it out of the Black people who came here, but I was sort of getting discouraged with this whole animosity and hostility that was going on. But I was so happy as well to find people like Guy and Brother Bakari, Forecast, and all these people who still have that fire for Africa. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
All right, Tan. I don't
Oh,
really
and I
have
appreciate
anything.
you, Miss Arike. Oh, thank you so much. It's such a pleasant and wonderful conversation. I hope we speak again. Thank you.
Oh yes, my sister. I hope we speak again too. I would really love that. It's for me, it's such a wonderful thing to connect, with our brothers and sisters on the continent. It really is. It's such a joy to me. Um, it it helped me to learn really my true identity. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know that I have one, I know that I got a place that I can call home, and when I go back home, whenever that time is, for me to, it's for me to really be open to say, hey, I'm leaving this place. Um, but it's important, like I said, for us to unify, um, break down those walls of, and like Tan said, the animosity between our people. Only thing that's different is our culture. That's the difference. We may speak a different language, but our cause and the plight and everything that we go through is the same. It's no different. We just in different places, and it's important for us over here to get rid of that European mind, because I think some of our brothers and sisters actually see it like white people. You know what I'm saying? Because half of us, our people act like they white because they think like that. They don't have that African mind. So I think the ancestors and the universe, for me, replacing my European mind with my African mind, and I'm gonna end on that note. Oh, but one day y'all might see me on Back to Niger Village with AUF when I do come back. We do have a another website, YouTube channel called Back to Niger Village. And when I do go back home, we're gonna be doing stuff on YouTube, and showing the diaspora how how the diaspora is going back home and how we're functioning and integrating with each other. So
You said
on
it's
that
called
note,
back.
guys,
Sorry, let
huh?
me. You said it's called Back to
It's
Niger.
called Back to Niger Village.
Back to Niger Village. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
look
the
it up.
other YouTube. That's the other YouTube channel that AUF have. Is He's called African Unite for. If you want to
Oh
view her
yes, I
channel.
already subscribed to her. Yeah, I
Yes,
already subscribed to
but
her.
we have a second channel that my son, made the logo for. It's called Back to Niger Village. So that's
Okay,
going to be showing how when we get to the village, we're going to be showing the farming and all
beautiful.
kinds of different stuff that's going to be happening on the continent. Especially when I get back there. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, it's time for our people to really go. It's time for us to go home. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is that a picture of Mother Frances Cress Welsing on your
Who?
avatar?
Oh, that's her.
That's me.
Oh, oh.
Oh wow, no, yeah, that's actually me. Yeah, in my natural hair.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought it was her.
No,
Okay,
that's
okay.
me. I went natural almost like 10 to 15 years ago. I went back to my natural stuff. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're very beautiful. It works and it suits you very well. And
Oh,
it makes you
thank
look
you.
like the great Dr. Welsing. So
Yeah, thank you.
beautiful all around. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank both of y'all ladies for coming through. Y'all sisters shed a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and that's what we need. I like to hear the wisdom of sisters. I love it. It don't have to always got to be brothers all the time. I want to thank Brother Bakari for coming through, and my brother Pledge. I'm sorry, Pledge for coming through. Shout out to him. But I want to definitely thank you, Tanzan, and Enrique, one who pampered on site. I want to thank you, sister, because I'm just glad that y'all came through and showed everybody that hey, we are one. We are one. There's no the black men here and the black, no, we are together. We are united. You know, the Trinity, the black man, black woman, child. And that's how we got to keep it that way. And I want to thank to the chat for being active. There go my brother Pelage. Definitely shout out to you, King. And shout out to Erica Howard. Shout out to you. And hope I'm not missing anybody. Let me see. Oh, my brother Keith Winston. Shout out to you. So I want to just shout out to everybody that came through. Man, it's just weird because like I said, it's just that the energy is just keep us going. And like I said, we warriors. We don't give up, but we have to. We have to point out the hypocrisy of our people, the propaganda that our enemy is doing, and we have no friends. The Asians are not your friend. The white any type of white people, whether they're Arabs or whether they call themselves Arabs or whether they call themselves Jews or whatever, they're not your friends. Okay, the Indian, the East Indians or whatever, they look like, they're not your friends. We have no friends. We have each other. We have each other. So, Africa for the Africans, whether you're from abroad or from home, that's how it is. And then we're gonna have to keep it that way because that's the only way we're gonna be strong. We got to be strong in numbers. So with that said, I'm gonna end this live. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm gonna play a little music, and we out.